Oh, shit, we're on. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, mental health issues, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. I'm Mr. Jason Roscom. With me here each and every single week that we record, the Darth Vader to my Palpatine, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Jason.
How are you?
I am happy to be back.
Yes.
I am fully erect and ready to be back.
Yes, we are back live in the studio. This is the first time in like a month.
Yeah.
We've been here in the studio.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Like before our mini hiatus, we were remote due to
COVID
and whatnot. So here we are. We're back in the studio amongst the
sacred Jedi
pops and
the sacred Jedi Pixies!
So yes, everything is right with the world.
It is. It's a nice temperature in here because
It
it's fall.
It is officially fall, right? Because it was last
Yes.
Thursday was the first day.
Yes, it's officially fall. Gross.
Yeah.
Blech. Saw off my own head. Do it.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
Well, we're talking Star Wars.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking a lot of Star Wars.
Yes.
From here on out and about.
Yes.
Yes. But specifically, there was a little show called Andor that came out and released 3 episodes. And we're going to talk about those 3 episodes of Andor with spoilers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
So once we get through our weeks, which, you know, could be lengthy.
Yeah.
Because we've got a lot of stuff built up, and you know what happens. You know, you wait a long time. You know, you're like, okay, I'm gonna build up, so it's like this big thing, and you're like, and it all just happens, and you know, hopefully it lasts a lot longer than you think it's going to. Then it doesn't, and you're disappointed.
So smooth.
So anyway, what were we talking about?
I don't know. How about we talk about Patreon? real
Yeah,
quick?
talk about Patreon.
All right. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our current patrons: Shotgun Mark, Frank Kalevich, Frederick Martin, Lord Helmet Fire, Scott and Kim from the Used and Abused podcast, Ivo G, Kristen Roscom, Nick from Swede Studios, Catherine Rennick, my wonderful mother-in-law Patricia Goodstein, Don Solsky, Nicholas Schaefer, David Schmuck, Wally Frogmore, Tony Ferrari, Brady Big Lovin', and Dragon Buddy. We appreciate each and every one of you. You are the reason why we do this. Oh yeah, and if you want to support us, go to patreon.com/sidebar cantina.
Yeah,
It's all in the notes.
Yeah,
Just look in the show description.
Is there a show description?
There is.
Where is it? It's like, is that under me?
Probably, yeah.
Like here?
Most likely, yes.
Like
Jesus. It's nice bright blue stick you got coming up from your crotch area.
that's nice.
Indeed, it is
Warm.
Yeah. You got anything Red 5 to talk about?
Yeah, of course. We want to congratulate Scarif After Dark, who hit their 100 years. Why is it highlighted? Am I supposed to read it differently? Anyway, if you put it on a teleprompter, he will read it. We want to congratulate Scarif After Dark, who hit their first 100 YouTube subs.
Hooray!
ATSW, who hit 300 subs. And Sarlacc Digest, who hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. So, if you haven't subscribed to us, then you should do that.
Yes.
The Sidebar Cantina on the YouTubes. You could be participating in the chat right now, where all the hellos and shit are happening. And no, I haven't ran into any cyclists recently. But it is happening. Like, it's cooler weather, and those little fuckers are out there. But yeah, it's more Red 5 shit after the show.
All right. Before we get into our weeks, we had
More Red 5 shit after the show. Woo!
it's an inside joke. Oh, that's good. And I'm going to laugh every time you do that now because I know exactly what you're talking about. So before we get into our weeks, we had a little bit of Star Wars related news break. I think it was today was when I saw this.
I think it actually came out yesterday. Or it might have actually came out Saturday.
Okay,
But yeah,
at some point over the weekend, James Earl Jones announced. Well, he didn't announce it. Was I think it originally leaked through one of the clickbait websites, but now it's being reported on all the major news outlets. I pulled this from NBC News that he is retiring, quote unquote, as Darth Vader. And he signed over the rights for Lucasfilm to use his voice in perpetuity as Darth Vader through AI means and everything else, kind of like what they've been doing recently with, they did it with CG Luke. They did it with, I'm pretty sure they did it with Vader, at least partially with Vader for the Obi-Wan series. So
Right.
James Earl Jones is like 91 years old at this point. If I were a betting man, I'd say he probably knows he's on the way out sooner than later and cut this deal probably to, pass down some funds to either his family or donate to like some big charity right before he dies. But
Well, plus, I mean, he acknowledges how important the voice, like he's a fan,
yeah, oh yeah.
and I
Yeah,
think,
he's embraced,
Yeah.
Star Wars and his character forever.
and I think he wants to make sure that this character continues to live on well past him, and there's no reason, like, hey, why would I limit this in some way by restricting my voice because of some legal ramification? So
Yeah, and honestly, like I was saying this years ago, that Lucasfilm needed to pull him into a fucking recording studio and like hand him the dictionary and just have him read every fucking word in the dictionary. And then this way they can create any kind of dialogue they want later on. But
apples.
yeah, exactly.
Apples build cars during
Luxurious.
follicles.
Minneapolis. And yeah, just every word, just have him record everything.
Yeah.
But, he's signed over the rights, and yeah, we'll have Darth Vader forever and not have to deal with any legal ramifications from his estate or anything like that.
I would love if I ever, God forbid, I don't want this to happen, but if it never did happen and I was in a Stephen Hawking like situation, I'd want my voice box programming to be
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, that'd be
James
great.
Earl Jones, like, do the entirety of the voicing. That'd be fucking fantastic. Although, knowing my luck, somebody would probably fuck with it and put J-Lo in there. She's like,
Oh, see. You're gonna talk like this forever now, you stupid son of a bitch.
Oh, that's too funny. That would be hilarious, though. Great way to prank somebody.
oh, God. Change out their USB drive. Like, oh, yeah, I got your voices right here. Whoop. Just upload that right here. All right, gotcha. See you later.
Tom Green, no.
Oh, shit. Anyway.
So yeah, no, I'm happy to hear that, and I'm glad to see that we'll have
yeah.
Vader forever. But hopefully someday Lucasfilm can learn to move on from some of these characters, because I mean, how many times can you tell a backstory about all these characters? Like, how many more Vader stories are there out there?
I mean, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, I know.
They're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, they didn't pay him probably millions of dollars to not use the voice. So.
It's going to happen. Like, it's 50 more video games.
Yeah. Video games. That's another one.
Spaceballs, the coloring book.
Yeah. Earn your money, whore. It's good stuff. All right.
James Earl Jones do the Hennifer impression. I don't know. I'd have to work on that.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Oh.
Do we want to talk about our weeks?
Yes.
All right. Before I bring the vibe down quite a bit with some stuff, let's do some additions to the
sacred Jedi.
first.
Nice.
So,
See, I would have done the vibe down and then done the Black Series. Well, you're bringing the vibe up. On
Right.
The upswing.
well, it's too late now. I've already committed to this. So, with the Black Series figures, there's been a little mini battle going on in the house because Kristen's not happy with the fact that I've been still buying Black Series figures, even with Christmas 3 months down the road. But she likes to shop early. She shops for Christmas in like fucking February. But
Which is probably smart.
Yeah, no, it is. It's like I can appreciate the planning ahead, but that's kind of left us in a little bit of a dilemma until I came up with the idea. I told her, all right, I like having a new Black Series figure every week on the show. You want to buy me Christmas presents. You know what I have currently. You pick which Black Series figure I buy each week up until Christmas. So now I can still buy Black Series figures every week. She picks them out, so she knows it's not going to conflict with any Christmas presents. So everybody wins.
This seems like an extremely beneficial compromise.
Indeed. So that being said, these first two are the first two that she picked for me to buy.
One of them has a dress. I'm going to fucking laugh my tits off.
Well, one of them does have a dress.
Oh, my fucking God! That was the best!
We've got Yavin Ceremony Leia. So handing out the medals.
Oh, God. This is, I swear to God, her in this scene, this was the stuff. This was the
19-year-old Carrie Fisher in the white lace.
Her giving out these medals and just that little sultry, like, kind of brush back. Like, oh, God. Every time. That gets,
Nice.
it works every time.
Indeed. And in addition to that, I got one more because we've had delays and whatnot.
Taking one more look at it.
All right. This is from Mandalorian. We have Heavy Infantry Mandalorian.
Oh, I thought you had him already.
I have him loose. Now I have him in package.
Ooh. Look at you in package.
Yep. So got a Mandalorian figure, got an OG trilogy figure. So nice well-rounding of the Black Series.
Nice.
And you can't really see it on video, but like the shelves are expanding. The Black Series figures are starting to take up quite a bit of real estate. And now we're talking about moving all of these pops up here all to that side of the room.
And there will be a point when behind me there will be the infinity of pops. That's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yep. So good times with that.
I love it. I love it.
So the opposite of good times is depression. It's a bitch. And yeah, I got hit with that hammer pretty fucking hard starting about, let's say 2 weeks ago. And it was bad. Like it got really bad. I hit some really low mental lows. And it kind of bottomed out right before we were supposed to do the last episode of the podcast. And it got to the point where I'm just like, I can't deal with the podcast or anything this week. And, through my, my spokesperson, we reached out to you and let you know, hey, this can't happen this week. And, I'm not, I've kind of climbed my way out of it, but I wouldn't say I'm 100% out of it, but I'm in a better mental state than I was before. And it's just a combination of so many things, like a lot of shit that you and I have talked about offline. Since retiring from the Air Force, kind of feeling like I have no purpose all of a sudden. And like the fact that I'm killing time. Like that literally is what my life has felt like since then. Like the work week is merely just killing time to get to the weekend. But then when I get to the weekend, it's just like I'm just doing a bunch of shit to kind of waste time and kill time until I get back to the fucking work week. And just I got into this cycle very quickly and it really fucked me up. And then I'm like, well, fuck. And I'm, approaching 50. What the fuck have I done with my life? You get this whole like midlife crisis, whole thing going on. And it was bad. It was really bad for a couple of days. And I don't even know if I should say this, but fuck it. No, I have nothing to lose at this point. I think my weird habit of overthinking and over planning things might be one of the only reasons I'm breathing today. Honestly, have you ever gotten pretty low mentally and thought, fuck, maybe things would be better if I wasn't here anymore?
Oh, absolutely.
But then because I have to overthink everything and overplan everything, I'm like, well, fuck. I can't traumatize anybody who finds me because I don't want somebody to walk in to see me with my head half blown off from a shotgun or hanging from the fucking rafters in the garage. So, all right, so it's got to be something peaceful, like an overdose or something. They just think I'm asleep and then they find me. Okay, nobody's traumatized for life. Okay, then what? Well, now I got to fucking write everybody a letter. Like, look, it's not your fault. to Kristen and the boys, this had nothing to do with you. This was me and my own weakness. Just like make sure that they're not, living the rest of their lives feeling any kind of guilt. I'm like, okay, fuck. Well, Kristen doesn't know anything about paying the bills. Like I handle all the money, so I'm gonna have to write out all the fucking websites and the logins and all that. Then I got to delete all this shit off my computer because if, anybody finds the shit that's on there, they're going to think I'm a sick fuck. And by the time I get to that point, I'm like, fuck it, I'll just stay alive and just figure it out. So again, I attribute my my weird obsessive compulsive. What the fuck just happened?
Sorry.
Did your camera freeze?
Yeah.
Thankfully, they can still hear you because we're both going through the same mic. But
that's okay. They don't need to see me.
yeah. But yeah, it's my mind went to some weird places, and it was bad for a while. But again, talking to some people, reached out to you. You gave me some really good advice at one point in there, and yeah. Whoa.
Wow. That was cool.
What the fuck are you doing?
It's being weird.
Clearly. Oh, there's Dave. Now we're on opposite sides of.
All right. Hold your breath. Ready? One.
Hey.
Yeah, there we're back.
Jesus Christ. So anyway, yeah, we had to cancel last week's episode. So that's basically what happened there. And yeah, we're here. We're kind of putting more of an emphasis on Star Wars stuff because that was another thing too. Just like I felt a lot of weird pressure from having to keep doing the show, and we were starting to get into like territory where I was starting to not look forward to doing the show, and I think I wanted to kind of get things a little bit back to basics, and again, this was something we had talked about before, was getting back to our core of covering mostly Star Wars topics, leaving like all the movies and music and topics and stuff kind of behind, only touching on those once every couple of months. So that's kind of where we're going direction wise moving forward. We'll still do random topics like that, but putting a little more emphasis on Star Wars for the time being. But that's all. That's just the nonsensical ravings of a lunatic mind.
Well, I mean, listen, you have a lot larger support system around you than you realize, for stuff like this. And I think one of the important things that in my own mental health struggles, because I have been there, dude, 100%, more times than I care to admit. Mm-hmm. I've been there, and this is one of the reasons that I'm in therapy. Something
I could probably use some more of myself.
Yeah. So there's when you get to those points, and sometimes you got to dig your way out of it, and you figure some shit out and talk to people, and it just gets better from there. But the important thing to remember after all this is that there's always somebody here who wants you to be here more than not.
Yeah. I totally get that.
Yeah, and that's just the way it's going to work, and I think you just have to suffer because it's going to be easier for everyone else. I'm joking, half kind of joking, but yeah, look, there's a lot of us, especially those of us that have been, a lot of Gen Xers, like we grew up in weird times, man. Mm-hmm. We had to fend for ourselves a lot. Mm-hmm. And I think that it steeled us for a lot of different things in our lives. And I think it made us like really strong emotionally and mentally. But I think at some point the burden of that, it gets on you.
Yeah. And I've been feeling that a lot more as I've gotten older.
Yeah. And one of the things you have to remember is not to bear that burden alone. As much as you can, and do things like, not to help ease your way into any type of transition that may or may not fucking end your life. But, doing things that like, I'm going to write that continuity binder.
Yeah.
Just so I have it, just in case if my fucking lithium battery fucking blows up or some shit,
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's funny too, because as I was in the midst of that massive mental crisis, I thought about you, and I thought about, like, kind of jokingly giving you shit for keeping yourself so fucking busy and then enrolling in the master's program and all of that. But at the same time, I get it, and because I don't have anything like that right now, or at least I didn't. I've started working on some new things, but because I didn't have that for a while, it was like I felt like my whole life was meaningless. Like what am I even doing? I'm sucking up oxygen and I'm just wasting time.
Yep. Yeah.
So, anyway, I thought about you with that. With the
I'm not saying. We talked about it offline. I think for all of us, those that are listening now, it's really, I know for me, it's the, with doing the masters, it's reaching. I have a short term goal. Like, okay, that's, we talked about, especially because we spent so much of our lives in the military, and we had this like, okay, we're in a career in the military. This is our mission. We have a mission set, and now we don't have a mission now. Like we have to adapt to a new mission set. Mm-hmm. And in our minds, the mission that we are going to do, like even if we say, okay, my mission is now to fucking finish my master's degree, right? Mm-hmm. But what's the mission impact for the real mission, right? Even though I work for the Air Force still, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're a defense contractor or if you're something else, you're still a part of it, but it's not the same part. It's so much different when you're a part of the spear as opposed to, helping on the outside somehow. And it's something that you have to when you spend a lifetime being that guy and then going the other side of it, it's fucking hard. It really is. All of you out there, we know. There's a lot of us out there that know. And just because doesn't make it any fucking easier some days. But there's people out there that do know that. So reach out when you need that help. Indeed. Need somebody to just say, be like, yeah, dude, yeah, it fucking sucks. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all I'll say about that. I probably went into too much information as it is.
Probably, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's part of you got to get it out, man.
Yeah. Got to move past it. So, anywho, what about you? You got anything a little more lively to talk about?
I've got, first off, I've got something to add to the
the
sacred Jedi.
So I was in the GameStop and I was like, oh, well, fuck, I don't know if he has this figure or not. Because the pictures that I have of taking the whole, because I'll usually after the episode I'll take a picture of yes. where we're at.
Every episode he's notorious for taking pictures of everything in here,
because I like looking at it. It's like, oh, look at all this look at the glory of this altar, right? Mm-hmm. Look at our false god. But I couldn't remember if he had it, so I got you this guy.
What?
Yes.
Well, thank you.
And I realized that you do in fact have that guy. I can see him. Or you can see him right there. Which means that you can open one and play with it.
Ooh. Well, and for the people just hearing the audio, this is the one of the gaming greats, because a lot of these GameStop exclusives are figures that come from video games.
Right.
This guy's from Jedi Fallen Order, and he's a flame trooper.
Yeah, and he's got a cool it looks like a snow trooper. And he's got this cool breathing apparatus kind of going into the face shield, which I thought was pretty cool. It's a cool looking figure.
Yeah. So that being said, I'm gonna have to analyze the boxes for each to see which box is in better shape, and then the worst condition one I will open, and then we will have. We've got loose figures. We've got box figures. So.
I figured the absolute worst case, if you did already have it, then you'd be able to open it.
Yes, and that's the thing I tell Kristen too. I'm like, it really doesn't matter if you buy me a duplicate, because if you do, I'll just open it, and then we'll have loose ones to play with.
Then get a little dick beaters all over.
And then it's like, oh no, I have an extra stormtrooper. Whatever will I do?
Saying that, I got a lot of pops, and we're just gonna rip through them.
What do you mean you have some
The sacred Jedi
pops? Should I make a hole, or I'll make space?
Yeah, you should really make space. We're just gonna start piling. So first off, we got. I usually don't buy larger than normal size pops, right? But this GameStop exclusive Darth Vader was on clearance in there.
Now the figure itself is normal size.
Right.
It's just in the bigger
It's
apparatus.
This Bounty Hunter exclusive. I guess if you had all of them, the backgrounds all like join up, so you can make like this bigger thing. I don't care for the other.
It's the scene where Vader's talking to all the bounty hunters in Empire, because the other ones from the set are Boba Fett, Bosk, IG-88, Forlom, Dengar, and Zuckuss.
Yeah, I would probably go broke trying to get all of them because I'm sure the Boba Fett one's probably way too fucking expensive. But the Vader one was like on clearance. I'm like, fine. I'm buying the Black Series figure anyway. So next up is we got some pre-order stuff. And again, the stuff I've been getting from Amazon, I've been severely upset with how it's been delivered.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. I wonder if he means old Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right, and I don't. So it's Obi-Wan from
the series. From Obi-Wan.
So we got basically a whole sequence of them.
Oh.
We got
Tala in her very imperial look.
Yeah, she's all
very prom and prim and proper.
Yep, all tightened up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got some of her.
Padme.
I feel like we talked about her on the show. I just showed her the other day.
Okay. Now this obviously wasn't from Obi-Wan.
No. So
is this her burial dress?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think this is her fucking. This is the corpse of Padme is what this is. Yeah, check that out.
So I should display it laying down then.
Yeah. And her eyes should be closed.
So all of these GameStop exclusive ones are the ones that are fucking getting me because the algorithm just pops that shit up in there. I'm like, oh, this will come out in.
It doesn't help that there's a GameStop on base too, I'm sure.
So what's funny is I pre-ordered some Funko stuff, right? And it comes in this giant Funko Loungefly box.
Uh-huh. So no secret as to what's
Yeah. Here's another Vader.
Oh.
I think that might be a duplicate.
Holy fuck, why is this so heavy?
Exactly. So that one's a 543, right? What's the number on that one?
539.
Because reasons.
Well, this is from Obi-Wan because it's got Obi-Wan, Reva, Tala on the back.
Well,
so this is from the Obi-Wan series.
Right, and it has the lighter thing. And I think I talked about that on the pod. The one we did, one of the remote ones we did.
Yeah.
See, this is Pop knows how to fucking box shit.
Yeah.
To fucking protect it. Let me get this one out of the way. Check this guy out.
What? Elliot and E.T.? Oh my god, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
So it's the 40th anniversary, right, of E.T.
Yeah.
And we know that I'm not a huge E.T. guy.
Which I don't understand, but whatever.
But so here's the thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
I am John Williams. I'm his biggest fan, right? So I listen to when I'm doing writing papers and doing shit like that, and my playlist is all John Williams shit. And
not just Star Wars, like all John Williams.
All John Williams stuff. So I'll get everything. I'll get E.T., I'll get fucking Jaws, everything he's done. And when stuff from E.T. comes out, I know it's from E.T. And I just like it. Like, especially the crescendo scene where the fucking
yeah, it's fucking incredible.
Yeah. I love that sequence. So when I saw this pop, I'm like, oh, fuck, I have to have that because it reminds me of that song. So now I have that. So sidebar, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, currently there is a spacecraft that is about to impact with the asteroid Dimorphos.
Like soon?
Today, I've actually got a feed in a window here on my, without commentary, so it's not showing anything. Oh, well, it's showing. It looks like the Langley campus. But anyway, go Google that. Look on YouTube. Open up in a separate window. Keep us in one window and keep that in the other, because watching us, they're deliberately flying a spacecraft into a fucking asteroid to attempt to change fucking trajectory, and it's pretty fucking amazing. So I will not be personally offended if you're derailed because of that, because I'm probably going to be.
Yeah.
Space is fucking awesome. So anyway, while that's happening, check this guy out.
What? What the hell? We got some new holiday pops, apparently.
Yeah.
This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Darth Vader snowman pop.
Yeah.
That is fucking hilarious. I love how like they made his mask and his chest piece with like little pieces of coal and little sticks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That
is fucking awesome.
There's going to be a whole series of those.
Oh yeah, they just announced Black Series figures too today. Holiday Black Series figures.
Yeah, and I've got them on pre-order, but that one for whatever reason was already available. So I don't know if it did it as a teaser or whatever. But
I gotta say, I am very upset with all of this ET hate that's going on in the chat right now.
Oh yeah,
like you're all fucking disappointing me, especially you, lady who lives with me. What the hell, man?
look at that guy.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Look at the fucking box. Like, remember the stormtroopers
with the black boxes?
Yeah, that box is fucking dead sexy.
The third Vader pop today, but in this like sweet ass 2020 Galactic Convention or 2022 Galactic Convention box with the black and the silver and the shiny and
it's so sexy, so sexy.
You can't even like.
You don't even know.
Yeah, the video doesn't do it justice.
You don't even know.
But yeah, that's 3 Darth Vader pops today.
All right, then we have...
we got Reva. She looks good. Yeah, very slick.
And just because I didn't have it and I wanted it, not because it's really worth anything, not for its intrinsic value, I got this... This Rey with a yellow lightsaber. Here's what I like about this pop. Now I'm not in the Rey. I'm in the Rey fan club.
Yeah, me too.
And this pop has like this effect where like the wind is blowing her hair forward, and it just looks cool. It's a cool effect for the pop, because you have something that's so static and it's so extraordinary, right?
Yeah, but you can like feel the wind blowing.
Yeah, it captures a moment.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm disappointed is that lightsaber is a little bit bent, so it probably got hot in the transport or something.
Man, that sucks. Can you like open it up and just kind of like?
I probably could, but it's worth like $8. I mean, it's hardly worth anything.
Mm.
But yeah,
cool.
So. This is why we need. This is why we're going to have a pop expansion out to the fucking wall back here.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago that we expanded the last time, and now we need another expansion.
Yep,
again.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of pops.
God damn it! My fucking screen froze again.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm looking at my screen and I'm frozen like this.
Well, you look fine on the stream.
I'm sure I am. I wish. What did I do before that I could just?
Good way to break up the awkward silence there.
Oh man. I don't want to close that. I'm trying to move the window, but I don't know if I'm on the window because I'm not like, I can't see. And we could do the camera dance again. Is it worth
Camera
it?
dance.
You know, it's like the safety dance.
Are you okay today?
No, God, no, dude. I am so, dude. All right. So let me get to the rest of my week.
Sure.
I am so burnt out from fucking school. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can't get any other windows open, so this is happening. Deal with it, people.
Thankfully, they can still hear you.
Yeah. So my ADHD has been just ridiculous lately. And I really don't understand what's been going on. It's something that I just don't.
Sorry. Bronco Fett just said this funniest thing in chat. He wants an artist to draw a picture of you, Dave, hitting the bicyclists in ET. I'm assuming you mean like plowing him over with his car.
That is actually really fucking funny.
It combines two things: Dave's hatred of bicyclists and his not love for ET. So that would actually work out really well.
And we have the music playing over it. Smash. Oh God, it's fucking funny.
So anyway, ADHD. Squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel. No, it's been really bad. And trying to focus on like writing papers and doing shit like that has been just fucking ridiculous. Trying to focus it all. And I've always managed in some kind of way to get a handle on it, right? All right, hold your breath. 1, 2.
Yeah.
I've always tried to have a decent handle on it. Because it's something that, like, ADHD is not something that was diagnosed when we were kids, right? For me, when I was getting up and wandering around in the classroom as a kid in fucking primary school, it was, he needed more. What do they call it? They put me in what was called the enrichment program. It was the enrichment program for intelligent children.
Yes.
It's called EPIC. And
It's called CHAPS in my school.
yeah, so they fucking basically took you because you were fucking bored with the dumb shit that these fucking idiots couldn't read their own names in first and second grade. And they're like, okay, we're going to put you in a room and let you play with other toys and play with other kids, and you can not disrupt the class. Because that's what I would do. I would get up and fucking look out the window and watch airplanes fly by and do this. And that's just how I was.
Yeah.
And they would have drugged me. If in today's world,
Sure.
for better or for worse, that's just what would have happened. And I've learned to harness that power to great effect throughout my career, and I've lost the harness. I'm not able to control it as well, and it's starting to really, like, it's pushing me right up against like deadlines for papers and shit like that. So it's becoming an issue. So I'm not really sure how to get a handle on it. Talking to psychiatrists and therapists, and there's, when you're fucking 47 years old, they're not trying to have a discussion about ADHD. That's not what they're trying to do. Because they're like, why, what, so like, they're like, you've lived your life, you fucking go, so who cares if you can't fucking see the thing? But yeah, I guess my biggest concern is, like, if I can't fucking, I got to sit here and do this paper, and then I'm over here like, oh, I got to open this drawer, I got to get a piece of scrap paper. Oh fuck, that drawer is a mess. Now I'm in this drawer. I literally did this the other day. I went into the drawer to get something. I'm like, oh, my sunglasses are in here. And I got a pair of old sunglasses out. I'm like, wonder if this glass would fit into my new sunglass frames. So I went out to the car to get the sunglasses from the car, and I sat down and looked, no, oh shit, that won't fit. Well, the fucking drawer's a mess. So I had everything out of that fucking drawer. And by the time I had everything out of that fucking drawer, I was ready to move away onto something else. I'm like, fuck, I can't even see what's on my desk now. I'm going to put everything fucking back in this drawer. Like, and that's the way it's been for several weeks now. And it's starting to really bother me. So I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, I would imagine in just normal day-to-day life, even at work, you could probably find a way to manage. But when you're dealing with like master's level classes, that's probably when
I joked at the end of my career, when I wasn't flying, that me at 70% was better than most.
I'd agree with that.
And when I was really sick and was dealing with all this stuff, and and they stuck me in the IG office, and I wasn't at 100%, and was managing. Most of my brain power was going to just pain management and fucking existing. I was still better than most, and now it's waning, and that's it's a little scary sometimes. But I got something else.
Ooh.
Speaking of squirrels. So I saw this. You ever seen this guy?
The Space Shuttle Operations Manual. I have not.
So I've been super into the shuttle as of late.
Oh yeah, and this is highly documented here on the show.
Yeah, and I follow a bunch of on Facebook. There's like Blast from the Past Space Shuttle, and there like lots of really, really good shots of the orbiter in the VAB, which I'm so super jealous of. That's like I would love to get into the VAB. I want just to fucking, even if I can't get in it, I want to stand at the base of it and just be like, fuck, look at how big this fucking monstrosity is. Excuse me. But somebody in that group was had gotten out like, oh, look what I came across. And then everyone in the group was like, oh yeah, I got mine. Apparently it's something that came out in like 88. And I'm like, I don't have one. I need one. So I had to procure one.
Because you had the actual schematics and everything.
Yeah, I
right?
had. I have like the -1, like the super, like the one they gave out to the press. But that was like from 1980.
Yeah.
So this one's a little bit more modern. This is post Challenger disaster. Like it has before the Endeavor was named, it has like OV like 106, basically. Hey, this is the one we made out of the spare parts. You know what it's funny. Challenger was OV99. Because it was a test frame. It was a test airframe.
Really?
Yeah. So Enterprise was OV100, and then Columbia was 101, I think. Then Challenger was 99, and I didn't know that. I never really thought about it, like because you think of the orbital vehicle as what OV stands for.
Yeah.
But anyway, I could go on forever. But yeah, I saw this book and I'm like, oh fuck, I need that. I need that in my life.
Yeah.
And guess what? We have the internet. And the internet provides.
Yes.
And I was able to procure said book for less than $10.
eBay is a wonderful place.
Yes, it's a scary place.
Oh yeah. I just spent a bunch of money on eBay like right before we started recording.
Did you win it?
I did.
Ha. It will not escape.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our fucking week. This Asteroids Hell hasn't crashed yet. Impact is in, I think, 1 hour.
All right.
So
well,
we got time.
Yeah, let's get into Andor after we take a quick break because I do need to pee. And then we will start hammering out these first 3 episodes of Andor. I got a lot to say about this.
Yes.
And I'm very excited to talk. So
yes.
We're going to take a very quick break and be right back after this word from our sponsors. All right, I'll be back.
I should really see. It's fucked up. The way I have the screen set up, right? I have fucking frozen laptop screen here, which is not frozen currently. I don't know why it does it. I honestly, I do not. It has something to do with the video driver, because this screen is fine, this adaptive screen. But then I got the iPad screen over here, And I keep trying to drag the mouse over to the iPad screen. It's not connected to anything. And I'm like, why isn't it fucking working? But yeah, anyway. So I would highly recommend that everyone who has not already done so go into the NASA stream for the darts impact with asteroid. Like you can just Google search that or throw it into the YouTube. And yeah, like the picture right now is just of it's space with a white dot in the middle of it. And it's just getting bigger. So you're basically watching for, I don't know, the next hour, we're going to watch this dart get bigger on the fucking screen.
And then all of a sudden it'll just be...
And then all of a sudden, yeet itself right into the fucking screen. Should I go? Trying to decide whether or not
Just fucking go. Like if you're wasting this much time, then just go. Jesus Christ.
Going because I want to, not because you told me to.
Whatever, Dave. You do whatever you feel is right. All right. The ET thing. Okay. Well, why? Why the ET hate? Why? Like I saw some people in the chat mentioning childhood traumatization, which, okay, I can kind of see that. It was, for us, for the late Gen Xers, we were pretty young. I think I was 6 when it came out. Came out in 82, right? 82 or 84. I want to say 82 because I feel like it came out after or before Jedi. Anyway, somebody will correct me. But yeah, it was for us later in the Gen X generation. Some pretty heavy shit for young kids, 5-6 years old. But the hate, really? I mean, it was such a great movie. Like, you just look at it from a cinematic perspective. It's a really good movie. It tells a great story. It's got a lot of heart, and it's got John Williams. Like, come on.
John Williams!
Yes. I almost fought somebody in a goddamn movie theater because I went and took the family. This is well documented on the podcast. I took my family to see a Fathom event where they did E.T. This was for the 35th anniversary, so this was 5 years ago.
Holy shit, that was 5 years ago?
It had to have been. If this is the 40th, that was for the 35th anniversary.
Wow.
And this fucking asshole right behind us was talking nonstop from the moment the fucking movie started. And I turned around and I fucking basically told him shut the fuck up. Gave him another look later, and I was like ready to fight. I was ready to throw hands if he said a fucking word to me after the movie, and I turned around and he was gone after the movie. So I'm like, all right. Because, see, it's like Mike Tyson said. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
That's true. It's true.
So
it's that willingness. Like, are you willing to really do this?
yeah, because I was at that point. I was willing to fucking throw down.
And you see it. Like, all the fights I've ever been that I've gotten into, like, it's that, okay, this person's really willing to do this. So here we go.
Yeah.
Right. It's like,
now, normally I'm on the other side of that. Normally, somebody's like, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm like, no, you're not, because I'm leaving now. But this time I was very passionate about this whole situation, and I was ready to fucking fight this guy.
and the good news for Dave these days is that I'm on medication that takes that 11 and dials that back down to about a 6 most of the time.
So, anywho, we ready to get back to it? We've got some Andor to talk.
Word. All right, I'm going to kill the banner. I'm going to go to brand and give us 30 seconds.
Yes.
When you are ready, sir.
I am ready. Do it.
Do it!
And we're back. So, Andor.
Yeah.
First 3 episodes came out last Wednesday, so we're almost a week removed. Spoiler alert!
Yes.
We are doing full spoilers here with no regard for anybody who has or has not seen it. So if you don't want spoilers, get the fuck out now.
Don't like it? Get the fuck out.
Yeah, and oh my.
So let's do just real quick before we get into spoilers. Can we give just a generalized overview of what our initial impressions?
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was engaged in the story that they were telling. I think that it set me up for wanting to let's get to the next episodes. Let's go. Let's get this story going. I wasn't put off at all. I was immediately drawn into the story. I wasn't put off by anything with the music or the tempo or the acting. There was nothing for me, much like the Eagles' performance this past week. There was.
Have you already looked ahead to see what day the victory parade's going to be, so you can take that day off of work?
I am not that guy.
Oh, okay.
I am not that guy. Believe me, I am not that guy. But we didn't score in the second half. In the past 2 games, we haven't scored in the second half.
But you haven't needed to. That's the thing. But,
But we want to fucking score.
all right, we're not talking football right now.
Anyway, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next things. For somebody that was so anti this character, I enjoyed the story. And that fucking broad is hot as fuck.
So you're stealing my thunder, man.
Yeah. We'll talk about it more.
I might have that written down 5 times in my notes. Yeah, but we'll get there. So for me overall, yeah, I'm in the exact same boat. This was a series that we're well documented as asking the general public, why do we need this?
Right.
They have done a great job of, like you said, making us want to see more of this, taking this character into new places. And that's the main thing about this. It's Star Wars. You can tell it's Star Wars. It feels like Star Wars.
Right.
But it also has a very different tone to it.
Yes.
Tonally, this is such a departure from anything we've seen before in Star Wars.
What I said to my coworker today, who was really unhappy with Obi-Wan because Obi-Wan was his favorite character. He was he was the guy who went, I am not watching another fucking thing until somebody tells me that it's 100% gold. Because he was that disappointed with Obi-Wan.
Wow. Okay.
And Rogue One, it was his favorite movie. And I said, me personally, I think if you enjoyed the tone of Rogue One and you really liked that grit, I think that's what you're getting.
Yeah, and I think you get more of it with this than even with the movie itself.
I would agree. I would say it's safe to say that if you're into Rogue One, you're going to be into this.
Yeah,
I think it's a safe assumption.
And what's interesting is you don't have to be into Rogue One to appreciate this either. They've done a good job of making it to where you don't have to watch Rogue One as a prerequisite going into this.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. Because it's before Rogue One.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't really need that context.
Mm-hmm.
Fact is, you're probably better off because you don't get all the Inigo Montoya fucking shit.
Right.
It's offset by fucking hotness.
And the hotness,
Oh, so hot.
the hotness that we're
Oh my
referring
God,
to
she's
is
so hot.
is that of the character of Bix Colleen, played by actress
Oh, yeah.
Adria Arjona
She's so big.
or Arjona,
Arjona.
however you pronounce it.
Oh,
Holy fuck!
Arjona, holy.
But we'll get there. So, yes, I thoroughly enjoyed these first 3 episodes.
Yes.
There's a lot to talk about.
All right. So spoilers. Let's break it down.
All right. So first of all,
it down.
this new intro that you see with the space, and then you see sort of the sunrise coming up over the planet, and then it kind of turning into the Andor logo with the fucking the semi-rebel symbol right there. What do you think of that intro and the music that goes along with it and everything?
It's okay.
I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I think
I get half a stock just watching it, just oh yeah.
it's okay.
Okay.
I'm all right. I skipped over it twice.
Okay, fair enough. I've watched it every time, so 6 times now I've seen it because I watched it. I think Kristen and I finally got to watch it on Friday or Saturday, and then I watched it again on Sunday to take my notes and everything.
I watched it Saturday. It was late because I was working on a paper, and refer back to my ADHD conversation. I was like, "Oh, I need to watch Andor, so I'm gonna do that now." And that's what I did. I watched fucking all 3 episodes of Andor.
Yeah, and you said it all in that voice too. Is that what?
Oh yeah, the whole time.
I had Holly in the chair next to me. I'm like,
Oh, Holly, can you believe this is going on with this? Oh my, she's so hot.
And they set the stage right away, telling us that this is 5 BBY. Now, for somebody like my lovely wife Kristen, who I love very much, the whole concept of BBY is completely foreign to her. So I had to explain it to her very quickly. This means 5 years before the Battle of Yavin.
Right.
BBY is before the Battle of Yavin.
Right.
For, the non-hardcore Star Wars fans. But they went there. Like, they just put it up there, like, with no context. 5 BBY. So
Right.
if you know it, you know it. If you don't,
if
sorry.
you know, you know.
Yeah.
And that's all you needed. That's boop. Here it is. Don't need to open a book. Don't need to figure anything out. There you go.
Yeah.
There's your fucking pin.
Yeah. So and this basically tells us this is 5 years before Rogue One, Episode 4. So they're setting the stage timeline wise for that. So which is good because I think there were some questions is like, when is it? Is it like 3 years, 2 years, 5 years? No, we know. And allegedly there might be some time jumps too throughout the course of the series, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And they start off on Morlana 1, which is part of the Morlana corporate zone. Basically just this
is where I immediately gave up on planet names. It's
Yeah.
like, nope, not gonna do it. Like I tried to keep track of what planet they were on at some point, and I'm like, I don't know anymore, and I no longer care.
Well, at least they're not on Tatooine.
This is true. Yet. At least they're not on Tatooine yet.
Yeah, I'm confident that we won't go there during this series.
Oh, dude, you've destroyed it. You destroyed it. The first thing we're gonna see in episode 4 with that sunrise is gonna be 2 suns.
No. Oh, good times. And yeah, so it's Cassian on this planet, raining. He's kind of walking through this sort of seedy area, which really unique visuals. He's walking in this like alleyway, and there are these people in these like fucking bubbles, right? And they're kind of like entertainers.
The red light district in Amsterdam.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Like there, you got one dude like doing a weird dance. Some chick over here was clearly a prostitute. Yeah. But I mean, again, it sets a very different vibe, but I liked it. I really liked just this opening shot.
Would you, if somebody had said, all right, bet what you think the first scene of this Star Wars series is going to be. If you bet on fucking a strip club and you would have won $1 billion fucking dollars.
It's not a strip club. It was a brothel.
Regardless, there was fucking going on.
Oh yeah.
It was a fucking fuck house.
Oh yeah.
That's what it was.
And it's not the first, or it's not the only time in these first 3 episodes where a lot of fucking is implied.
There is a fucking fuck house going.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, he walks into a fucking brothel and,
Can we call it a fucking fuck house from this
fucking
point
fuck
forward?
house. Yes, he walks into the fucking fuck house.
Yes. Somebody keep track of how many times to say fuck this episode.
Fuck.
Fuckity fuck.
Fuck. Motherfuck. Noise. Anyway. So yeah, he rolls up in there. This chick who would have been hot if it wasn't for the fucking runway she had on the top of her head.
Right.
I don't understand what the flatness, like that perfect flatness on the top of her head was. But
I feel like they remind me of like Fifth Element type haircut that you'd see with fucking what's his nuts fucking
oh god, Corbin Dallas.
Yes. Oh, what the fuck?
Ruby Rock, right? Or
Yes.
Ruby something.
Oh, what's his real name?
Oh, Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of when I saw it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Corbin, my man. Corbin, my man. Oh, I love that movie.
Anyway,
so we digress.
yes.
So yeah,
and
so
it's dark. It's dark as shit. It's dark. There's just like this blue tone to it, and you just like get this really just seedy underscored undertone vibe to it.
And, you know, a couple of things are going on. He's talking to this chick. He's looking for somebody specific. And you got these two fucking local law enforcement guys
Right.
that are giving him shit.
Right.
Like from across the bar. Like,
Sitting at the bar, fucking, hey, we've been waiting here to get some fucking tail. And, you know, homeboy strolls in with his fucking mustache and says, I'm Inigo Montoya. I'm looking for somebody.
yeah. So, and they're getting pissed off. And, you know, the more we find out about them later, the more it's like, oh, you fucking little scumbags. But,
Deserve to get shot in the face.
yeah, come to find out, he's from a planet called Canary, which we get little trickles of information about as we go along, and he's looking for a sister. That's all we know. And up to this point, I don't think we ever knew Andor had a sister or anything. You know,
No.
we knew practically nothing about him, except that he's been in this fight since he was 6 years old, according to Rogue One. So yeah, no sister there. He goes to leave, and then you get one of the most unique shots like I've ever seen in any kind of cinema, and that's he's walking away. He's back out in the rain. He's walking away, and it's a shot of his face as he's walking. And then you hear the guys fucking behind him yelling, those two fucking scumbag local security guards, basically. They're fucking security guards.
Yeah, they're rent-a-cops.
And it never takes that focus off of his face. Like, he does eventually stop walking, but it's still got that frontal camera view of him. It never flashes to those guys. You just hear them, and you can hear them walking and getting closer and closer.
It reminded me of something like that you'd see in like a Coppola movie.
Yeah.
Or like like in THX, something like that, like this really tight pan shot. Because, you know, you only have so much set built, so you fucking really keep this shot tight.
Yeah.
You know, it was. I agree with you. It's an interesting shot that you don't necessarily see in Star Wars.
No, fucking in almost nothing like in cinema. It was really, really unique.
Yeah.
And, you know, they came up, they were basically shaking him down for money. Scuffle ensues, and Cassian Andor, the cold-blooded killer, soon came out.
Right.
Just like we were introduced in the beginning of Rogue One, now in the beginning of the Andor series. Murder.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I don't think he intended on killing the one guy.
not the first guy, for sure.
Right. But then, you know.
Yeah, the blaster shot to the face to the other guy.
Right.
Yeah, that was intentional.
Well, if he wasn't being so fucking pathetic.
Oh yeah, no, they fucking deserved it totally. Like they got what they had coming to them, and fuck them.
Apparently, he was a six-figured man, and he
Yes.
say he'll give me money.
Yeah, but nah, man, he fucking kills these two security guards.
Right.
And you know, at the time, I didn't think much of it, but obviously, this comes back to be a major player in the storyline for the rest of these 3 episodes. But he fucking beat feet off the planet and.
All right, let's pause here for a second. And
Okay.
Dave does not hate the Spanish accent. What I don't like about when I saw the character in Rogue One, the accentuation of what the character was doing in Rogue One is what I didn't like. It could have been any accent. It could have been Greek. It could have been anything. It reminded me of Inigo Montoya from A Princess Bride. Like the delivery of the whole thing reminded me of Inigo Montoya from Princess Bride. That's why I say it like that. It was the delivery of the lines in Rogue One. It has nothing to do with the Spanish accent. It has everything to do with A Princess Bride. Mm-hmm. And that's why I bust balls on that. But as we get on with this show, this is kind of this is a clean slate for me with the dialogue. Mm-hmm. And it really makes me, you know, spoiler alert, it makes me kind of realize that it was more because this character had more room to breathe, I think, in this 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Than he did necessarily in Rogue One.
Mm. Well, because and Rogue One wasn't really about him either. Like he was.
Yeah.
I mean, he was one of the main characters, but you're also splitting time with Jyn Erso, the Guardians of the Wills. So he only had a certain amount of screen time he got to take up, and he had to get all his shit in, basically.
Yeah, and like I said, I think it was the delivery in Rogue One that just fucking bothered me, and so I made fun of it. That's what I do. It's my thing.
Yeah. So this was the point too in my notes after this intro scene where I made a comment about the soundtrack because I really like what they're doing with the soundtrack. And I know you know, your big complaint with a lot of the non-core Star Wars movies and shows is no John Williams, which I understand.
My complaint was with Rogue One's soundtrack.
Right. And what I think they're doing with this is, again, they're not even trying, because what I think the problem with Rogue One was they tried a little bit too much to be like John Williams, but it was nowhere near the quality you would get. This in Andor, they're not even trying to be like John Williams. They're doing something completely different, and it's working.
They're doing their own thing that makes sense for what the tone of the actual fucking show is.
Yeah.
And that's what they should have done with Rogue One. Instead, they dubbed over some fucking bullshit, and you get literally offbeat tempo fucking transitions into different shit.
Yeah.
And that's
one of the things that we've learned about since then was that the soundtrack was done in a very short period of time too.
This is a sidebar, but we were going to talk about Rogue One.
Yeah.
And we didn't, we talked about why, but in reality, like we saw Rogue One. We took that opportunity to kind of see it and preview it going into this, but so did everybody else. I mean, we watched it multiple times. We got to see it in the theater.
Yeah, back in the IMAX.
Which was great. And there's probably some room for conversation at the end of this series for seeing Rogue One again, because ideally we're going to be at the point where it's going to continue from one beat to the next.
Yeah, kind of like lead right into it, hopefully.
Yeah, if we're really lucky, he'll be fucking stepping off a fucking a lander right into the fucking street where he goes down the alley.
Like meets that dude in the cast. Yeah, yeah, no, that'd be great. I'd love to see that. But yeah, so I think with the soundtrack, what they're giving us is they're like, we can't imitate John Williams, so we're not even going to try. We're going to do something completely different. And they've got like this mix of like, there's like this 70s synthesizer in there, kind of mixed with modern, composing and everything. Is really, really cool the way they're doing it.
Yeah,
and
I like it. It doesn't, like I said, there was nothing in these 3 episodes that took me out of what was going on within the show. Yep.
So from there, after the intro, we go to Ferrix, which is the main planet that Cassian lives on with his mother, I say in quotes, his super hot friend, and all this other cast of characters. So, but this is Ferrix as part of the Morlani system, which I guess is all part of that Morlana 1 territory. Right. You're giving me that look. Well, because it becomes relevant when those fucking security guards show up later on, because they have jurisdiction over this planet. Right. But anyway, so that's just that to set the stage. We're introduced to B2ENO, the little red droid, who fucking folds up and dog pisses on him, and then he keeps going and talks to Cassian. I fucking love this droid, by the way, through these first 3 episodes.
And I
thought he was great.
What they did, and I think they're being clever about it. And initially I thought I'd be annoyed by it, but thankfully they didn't overdo it. Is, all right, you develop a character who has an obvious affinity for droids, right? And this is how it starts. Yeah. Right? It isn't something that just all of a sudden, here's K2SO, right? Here's something that, as we'll find out later, like as a boy, this droid was immediately, like, he went from being the Jungle Book, going from the fucking, Mowgli in the Jungle Book to fucking, now all of a sudden there's fucking droids.
Yeah, and they did a really good job of capturing that too. When the droid comes into the room, he's kind of like taken aback. But again, we're skipping way ahead. But did we just get a text from?
I don't know. My shit keeps lighting up.
Oh yeah. The John Williams thing, how he's going to get knighted, or he was knighted or something recently.
Yes. He should, godlike status. Godlike status.
Yeah, but he was already there for us.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, this is when we do get the first flashback to young Cassian in the Lord of the Flies, basically him and his little sister, who called him Cassa, which is the title of this first episode.
Right.
So you got to wonder if like that is his real name and he like kind of changed it to Cassian, or if his name has always been Cassian and that's just the way his little sister always pronounced it, because I've seen that before. Got a whole story with Kristen's family and what they call her sister and all this other stuff because of how somebody pronounced it when they were a little kid.
That makes sense. Oh, just taking a step back for the knighted thing. John Williams was knighted before the Queen died. He was the last to be knighted by her.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful. It's poetic.
Yeah. And fuck the royal family, if I haven't said that today.
Except for Meghan Markle.
Right, yeah. Though she's not quite as hot as Bix Colleen.
Fuck.
She's quite doable as well. Anyway, we digress. So yeah, we get the first flashback, and it's, you know, this fucking basically group of kids, and then you got some older kids, like the girl who's in charge of the tribe, or who appears to be their leader. She looks like she's probably 18, 19,
right,
kind of thing. But then like they're all younger. They get all younger. So you're like, okay, who are these kids? Where are their parents?
You went Lord of the Flies. I went fucking
Jungle Book.
Well, for him in particular, I went Jungle Book, but for the group of kids, I went fucking the Lost Boys, or from Peter Pan.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it makes sense too.
And it's God.
But yeah, so it clearly these kids are, you know, living in some sort of a society where they have like a power structure and everything. And as they're chilling in their little fucking tree houses, a fucking ship goes overhead that's in the process of crashing, basically.
Yeah, it's shipped straight from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah, so and they watch it fucking crash, and these kids are like taken aback by technology apparently, so they've never seen much in the way of technology.
They have like wreckage that you come to see later as they're coming to, like
the abandoned mines and all that.
Right, the strip mining that was obviously going on there.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's so many questions about that too, and we'll get to it as we get to more details, because I'm like, I want to know more. Like, what the fuck happened here, and why? You know, what time was this too? That's another thing. Like, do we know how old Cassian is and how much before
he was 6 years old?
Okay, so
right, he had to have been 6 years old.
Right, but then how old is he at 5 BBY? Like, how much before this did that take place? Because when old lady picks him up, again, we're skipping ahead, like she's talking about, oh, the Republic ships are going to be here any minute. So like this was the time of the Republic, pre-Empire. So when the fuck was this? I don't know.
And their badging too was interesting. Like the badging of the like it was, because it wasn't rebel. Like, it wasn't Republic badging.
No,
on their uniforms.
It almost looked.
It almost looked like the science officers from fucking
the Camino guys, right? Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like the dude from fucking Mandalorian, how he had that same fucking symbol as the scientist. But yeah, no, it was something that I probably should have gone back and looked at a little bit closer. But either way. Trying to pinpoint when this was. So according to Lunar Girl, Cassian is 26 in Andor. If that's the case, then this would have taken place 20 years before that, which would be 25 BBY. So yeah, because the Empire was 20, yeah, right? Because
26.
Anyway,
I would be looking at it online, but I opened up this window and now I can't close it.
Yeah, sadly. We're just gonna spend the rest of the episode just staring at that.
It's kind of like we did in the beginning of the show, just like
yeah. All right. Anyway, so after the flashback, Cassian's basically he's making the rounds. He's basically telling everybody, "Hey, need you to fucking make up this cover story for me." He tells the fucking droid, tells his buddy named Brasso, the dude that like comes out of the shop or whatever. They got the gloves hanging on the walls and everything.
Right. Well, they were basically salvaging, right?
Yeah,
they were pulling copper wiring out of all the fucking, industrial shit.
Yeah.
Which I thought actually was a pretty cool element of what they were doing, right? So they had all of these shots that we get of these large, either whether they're spacecraft or just mining structures or whatever, and they're ginormous and they require all of this like engineering into it. And when they're tearing it apart, they're fucking giant wire bundles and cables and shit like that.
Yeah.
And you got these guys that are pulling that resources back out of it, right, to recycle that shit. So they're cutting that shit open, and there's a fucking wire bundles, and they're pulling those fucking wires out. So they got that's what these dudes are doing. They're just fucking out there. They're in a scrapyard.
Yeah.
Just working in a scrapyard.
Yeah. which it's pretty cool. And visually, they've put just as much money into the visuals of this show as they did for Mandalorian and everything else. You can tell.
Yes, 100%.
So
100%, spared no expense.
Yeah, looks great, very immersive. Like you really feel like you're there as part of all this. But yeah, Cassian's making the rounds, telling everybody to make up these lies for him because he again murdered a couple of guys.
Yeah, yeah. What did you do? Might have fucking killed a guy and then shot another guy in his face.
Yep. And then we go back to Morlana 1, where now we see the two lead guards, the old guy whose name I don't know, but then the younger guy, Cyril Karn, the deputy inspector. This little shit.
Yes, fucking little pencil dick.
God, and the writer or somebody who was involved in the writing of this had to have been in the military.
Had to have. This is this fucking lieutenant.
Yeah.
Like look at this little fucking lieutenant. He had to have been in the army.
Probably.
Because this is how they look at lieutenants. Like, look at this little fucking pencil dick.
Yeah.
Right.
And I like where he made like, did you alter your uniform? And he's, he mentioned like the pockets and like slimming it up a little bit. And
what a fucking nerd. My God.
But we know the type. We've seen it before.
Oh God.
And yeah, the older guy, he's like, fuck it. These two guys were shitbags anyway. They kind of got what they fucking deserved. Make up a story. It was an accident. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going off on a business trip. Don't fuck shit up while I'm gone.
Don't put your feet on my desk while I'm gone.
Yeah.
Basically.
And what did he do? He put his feet up, pulled his pants down, took a shit on his desk, and is like, I'm going to investigate this.
Yes.
So,
and basically create an international incident.
Pretty much, yeah, in the process. So yeah, this motherfucker, this Deputy Inspector Karn, ooh. And he's not like the kind of character you hate because he's so evil and just destructive and everything. No, he's just this little pissant fucking sniveling.
And what's funny is like, so I'm sure there's people out there that are going like, what do you mean? He's trying to do the right thing and he's a Dudley do right kind of guy. And blah, 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 blah. And fucking we are on the other side of that going like, no. Like he was told to fucking let it go.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He's like, no, I'm going to do the right thing. And all these motherfuckers got killed because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Follow orders or people die. Right? Go fucking watch goddamn Code Red or whatever the fuck that movie was. Jack Nicholson. Like, watch that.
A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men. Thank you.
You're goddamn right I did.
You're goddamn right I did. Your faggoty white uniforms. But it's the fucking truth, man. It's you follow orders or people die. That's the thing. I told you to fucking sit on your goddamn ball sack and don't do a goddamn thing. Mm-hmm. Because if you do something, it could be you open up your fucking zipper and slap your dick around, and what's going to happen?
You're going to get the attention of the Empire, which is what we don't want.
Right, and you're going to get herpes, and it's going to be a bad day.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a bad day.
Yep.
And the hottest fucking broad I've ever seen in Star Wars, literally. Like, can we talk about?
Well, because that's the next scene in my notes. Is the introduction of the character Bix Colleen, played again by actress Adria Arjona.
Arjona.
Holy fuck!
Look,
did we mention how hot she is?
It's almost distracting. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah. No, trust me, I'm right there. Like as we get going along in these episodes, and I'm just like, yeah. Get back to the hot chick,
So as we go along with this, right? So Jason and I are going to make these comments about like the hot thing. It's obvious, right? You're watching the show, you see how hot she is. There's nobody that's saying like, no, she's not that attractive. Whatever.
Bullshit.
Yeah, get over yourself.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that as we're watching this, the lieutenant, the fucking pissant lieutenant, the staff sergeant that keeps fucking shining his fucking mouth,
it's
like, or
the portly guy.
Yeah, in the army, this would be the first sergeant that just sort of like keeps egging this dude on, right? And meanwhile, he's really running what's going on.
Oh yeah,
or just keep the lieutenant going forward,
Put him in front of the people to make a motivational speech every once in a while.
And then make him look like a fool. You know, it's like, oh, that was good. Really motivating, sir. And make it sound like you really meant it. Like that's, they teach us to do that, by the way. It's like that in Senior NCO Academy, like they teach you how to make officers feel good about themselves.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Since we're out,
Well,
we can give away these secrets.
While basically at the same time saying, like, you're kind of the guy who's really running the show.
Yeah. You, sir, instead of saying, Lieutenant, you're a fucking moron, you should not ever make any decisions in the Air Force ever again. I'm going to make it seem like it was your decision to do this thing, and I'm going to say how good you are at it.
Yeah.
Regardless of that.
So anyway, we were talking about the intro of Bix Colleen.
But the new hotness.
Yeah. You were starting to get off on a tangent.
I was on a tangent. No, I was saying, like, what I did notice, like, with certain scenes, especially, like, okay, the battle sequences, like, these guys are actually doing, like, all right, let's break up into these groups. Like, let's try to flank here. You got the guys in the alleyway that are trying to, like, they recognize her as somebody who's important,
like an associate,
right? So let's you know, and it's not like out of the ordinary. Like, all right, we're going to detain this person, and they weren't like, you know, roughing her up to, you know, rape her or anything like crazy like that.
They did rough her up though,
not to rape her, but
right?
Just to, you know, they knew she was fucking, you know, sideways. So when all that shit was going on, and it did go sideways, and then there was that fucking, you know, the not a friendly fire incident, but the guy discharged a weapon. The other guy was like, fuck, dude. You know, give me that fucking gun. You're going to the ship now.
Yeah.
Like, go. Like, now there's paperwork. God damn it. You killed a fucking civilian. This is like, you know, straight out of the fucking somebody who's been walking the streets of fucking Islamabad. Like, just, you fucking shot somebody. God damn it. So now just go in the truck. Go in a truck and wait for us. And that's basically what's happening. And it just struck me as like somebody, whoever, you know, put the choreography to some of these scenes, there was some mechanics there that I feel like they knew. There was some realism to it that I caught. That I don't know. Well, I don't know if everybody else did.
And that's why I'm saying, like, somebody who was in the military was involved in the writing of these episodes. Had to have been. Maybe not have been the primary writer, but you know, had to have a lot to do with it. So yeah, she's got this purchaser friend because apparently, you know, she also deals in buying and selling of hot goods. Andor knows this, asks her to put him in contact with the dude because he's got a hot item of his own.
Right.
Hold on, I have it written down, an untraceable NS9 Starpath unit. Which apparently shows like all the...
With a sweet ass fucking...
that chrome Imperial logo on the top.
Oh my God. If I was going to build a fucking PC, I'd want that at the center.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
with some fucking like just red LED lighting around it. Just like...
Yeah. That'd be pretty sweet.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah. And you kind of get the feeling too throughout this episode is that... you know, Cassian has a lot of debts around town. Like, he's borrowed a lot of money from a lot of people.
Right.
Because you get the scene where the one guy, like, corners him in an alley or something, and the big fucking guy comes up behind him.
Right.
Vetch was the name of the big guy.
Right.
And he's like, fucking, I want my deposit back and all this shit. And he looks back at the big guy. He's like, really? He's like, you just told me to stand here. I fucking love that scene. But, you know, he apparently owes money to all kinds of people around town. So...
he's a scrapper.
Yeah,
that's his thing. He's a survivor.
Yep. This was the first time in my notes that I wrote Bix is hot as fuck.
It took you that long?
Well, yeah, I had her intro because her intro just happened 3 lines ago. So, you know, this is the first time since her intro. Did you notice the blue takeout noodles that the dude was eating in the security guard place? Yes. He's like eating those fucking noodles right out of a fucking Chinese takeout box.
Like, oh, here he comes.
Yeah.
He's trying to eat him fast.
But yeah, they were like a bright blue kind of thing. I'm like, whoa.
It makes me wonder, I want to look that up now, see if it's in the fucking the Galaxy Sedge fucking cookbook.
Oh, maybe.
That Vickers gave us. That's actually at home and not part of the Sacred Jedi texts.
The sacred Jedi text.
That took fucking forever. Jeez, I'm like in freeze frame here.
Yeah.
Thank God for truncated silence. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was the point where Kristen had mentioned in this first episode that all of the men have beards and accents. And I'm like, yeah, you're kind of right, because as soon as Andor, who also has a beard and an accent, lands, he talks to his friend Brasso, who has like I think everybody else had like Scottish accents on the planet.
Oi.
But he had a beard and an accent. The boyfriend of Bix, that Judas bastard,
Right.
he had an accent and a beard.
I feel like I recognized that guy from something too. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I feel like I recognized that actor from something else.
My son said that one person from the planet was in the last Batman movie. Did you see the Batman?
Yeah.
Did we see it together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently
did.
he was in that.
The longest
so-
movie ever told.
Yeah.
We saw that together.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, it was just funny because like we're trying to like talk and get our everything straight as to which character is who, and yeah, she's like, I don't know, they all have beards and accents. I'm like, yeah, you're kind of right. Anyway, then we go to one last flash of the kids on Canary, and they're like basically suiting up to go investigate the crash, and
Getting their fucking war paint on.
Yep, and this is when Cassian basically says goodbye to his sister, probably not realizing that this is the last time he was going to see her.
So I was watching this on the computer, right? Because I was sitting on my desk, supposedly working on a paper, and I wasn't, obviously. But there was no subtitles for when they were in the village. Was there subtitles for you?
No. Well, no, not the first time we watched it. I turned on subtitles for the second viewing because some of the people's accents are a little bit difficult to understand. So I wanted to be able to actually see all of the dialogue. So I watched it with subtitles the second time.
So they actually had, like, for their language, their native language, they actually had, like, it typed out?
No. It just said like random Canary language.
Oh,
is
okay.
like all it said.
So I was concerned that maybe the way I was watching it, I might have missed something. But I feel like I like what they did, and I think it's a good storytelling that they could be speaking another language and not have to tell us what they're saying, and you still understood what was going on.
Yeah.
And I think that's a measure of good storytelling.
It is. Yeah. Hold on just a second. You might hear something.
The little white dot is getting bigger.
What little white dot?
The fucking asteroid that we're crashing a fucking thing
Oh,
into.
that's right. You still got the video going.
Yeah.
Anyway, had to take care of some horseman business. All right. So that was pretty much the end of the first episode. The second episode, called That Would Be Me, we start back on Canary with the kids, and this is where we see that glimpse of the strip mine that on the planet, and it's like just this fucking massive, like Grand Canyon size,
Right.
fucking just.
Have you ever been to a quarry like that?
I've seen pictures, but I've never actually been to one.
Dude, they're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
They're either like the most, they can be really, really just like geologically like just impressive and like, oh wow. Or they can be like, oh my God, look at this scar on the earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's the way that they were trying to portray it in this, was how
Right.
it was just like a big gash in the planet.
Right.
Essentially, where they just pillaged, all of that shit from
and that's,
from
but
the planet.
I think, again, good storytelling, that's exactly what, when you look at that, you know exactly what that is. Like, if you know what a quarry looks like, you know what they were doing there.
Oh yeah. And again, it just raises so many questions. It's like, well, fuck, what were they mining here? What was the accident that happened? Why are these kids here by them fucking selves?
Right.
Where are their parents?
Right.
Were they all killed in the fucking mines? And then why was this ship coming here? And when the ship fucking lands, and when we get to the debris
Right.
and the corpses, they're all fucking yellow,
Yeah.
like bright yellow. It's like, what the fuck is this?
How did they get jaundice so bad? And
Yeah.
Where's Tinkerbell?
Right. Yeah. So like so many questions, but it's a good type of mystery, right? To where they're just giving you little trickles of information, and I'm sure by the end of the season we'll know the whole fucking story. But it's kind of cool watching it for the first time and just being like, oh, like speculating, like what's that? What's this?
Oh yeah,
you know.
I mean, that's been the best part of Star Wars, right? Is like trying to figure out what the fuck what is that? What are they trying to tell us?
Oh yeah, because like as we were getting ready for the new movies in the sequel trilogy, especially leading into Force Awakens, with the little information we got from the trailers and the characters, like who is this person? Is this the son of Han and Leia? Is this the daughter of Han and Leia?
Who is this? Oh, it's nobody. Apparently, that person didn't matter.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah, it's just so much to try to figure out, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying that part of it. Now, once we get out of the flashback sequence, we go to present day and the bell ringer. So apparently, people online fucking love this guy. The guy that goes up to the fucking bell tower with the two hammers, kind of like has some very zen moments, like. You know, kind of breathes in, like does a little yoga pose, and then fucking boom, boom, boom.
Like, all right, this is what I'm going to play today. Got my hearing protection on.
Yeah, is it? And that was the big debate too. Is it hearing protection or are they like headphones that tell him, you know, when to hit the fucking
It
thing?
could be both. I mean, some PPE has Bluetooth in it, you know, so you could potentially be doing both.
Yeah.
She was 16, by the way, the girl that leads the expedition.
Okay. Well, I said like 18-ish.
You did.
Yeah. So
I just want to put that out there.
But you could tell she was probably like
she was the elder.
Yes. Yeah. Her, and then there was like one male who looked probably about the same age,
right,
like leading everything. But anyway, we digress. So yeah, the bell ringer. Apparently this dude is super popular online. Like I saw an article. It's like, oh my God, I love the bell ringer so much. And, so this was the funny thing. What was his? Okay. Yeah. So I'm reading this article. It was on Gizmodo, I think, talking about like how they love this guy. And the first comment was, can we please find out that this guy has like a stupid Star Wars name? We should call him Bong Percusso from now on. So I think from here on out, we need to refer to him as Bong Percusso. So
I can dig it.
Yeah, like I read that comment and I thought it was the funniest fucking thing I had ever heard in my life.
That's how legends are made.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, so Bong Percusso was up there playing, and I guess, you know.
He's going to have a Black Series figure.
Oh, you know
like
it.
Bong Percusso. Black Series figure.
That would be the greatest.
Just like the trader guy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Trader. Same type of shit.
Yep. So I thought that was worthy of bringing up. And this is where we also were first introduced to the concept of Cassian's mom. I say in quotes.
Right.
More like, ooh, I'll take one of those. Let's go.
Yes.
I've always wanted a little Hispanic boy.
It's
now I have one.
Let's just, you know, Madonna-esque. Like, oh, I'll take one of those.
Yeah, give me one of the locals.
I talk like this. I don't know. How would I get in part of the rebellion?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
And
like, who is she working for?
Yep. I didn't really write a whole bunch of notes as far as like the inner workings of the plot for this episode, but a lot of it is based around fucking Judas. Tim is his name, the boyfriend of the hottest chick in Star Wars. What, Tim?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Fucking Tims.
Yeah. But it's with 2 M's, just so you know.
Just to be extra dickish.
His name is Tim.
But
yeah, no, he goes full on Judas, fucking turns in Cassian to the security guards.
Dick.
Because he knew he was from Canary, and that's the whole thing.
How do you spell dick? With 2 M's.
Yeah. And there's all this back and forth with Cassian and Bix as he's trying to convince her to hook him up with her purchaser. And then she finds out like he killed fucking somebody, and she found out that that's what the bulletin was. So she's at the fucking bar pounding him back. You know, he rolls in and she's like, what the fuck did you do? And all this other stuff. She's like, all right, dude's going to be here tomorrow morning. Just fuck off. And she shows up at fucking Tim's house drunk for basically a booty call.
Yep.
Like,
hey, baby.
Yeah, she shows up fucking drunk.
The light was on. I'll be over here in bed.
Yeah.
Fondling myself.
Yeah. And she fucking walks in. They fucking make out. She takes off her fucking over vest or whatever.
Right.
She's got this tight ass shirt on, these massive fucking tits,
Yep.
like bulging out of this fucking shirt. And like, I'm just like,
Yep. And Tim's like, yeah.
yeah. And this is probably the second note in my thing.
Tim is apologizing for his whiskey dick immediately.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong?
I've been drinking since 3.
Yeah, but she like fucking strips down, makes out with him, and then goes right into his bedroom. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
And then there's like the awkward shit in the morning. Right? The next
well, yeah, where
morning.
he's like fucking staring at her.
Like-
Like she wakes up, she looks over, and he's just sitting there, just staring at her.
Like, oh, I fucked up. Well, it's like it's like in the Bourne movies. Remember in oh, you never saw the Bourne movies,
No.
did you? All right, never mind. It'll be wasted on you.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was and of course she didn't know that he fucking turned
Right.
in Cassian either at this point.
Right. She's like, hey, could you fucking make mimosas or something? I got a wicked hangover.
Yeah. Well,
Comes
no,
up-
she mentioned calf. She's
Yeah.
like, tell me you have calf, which is, you know, if you read the books, you know, calf is basically their version of coffee.
Right.
And it's been referenced for ages
Forever.
in the Star Wars books. And now they've actually mentioned it in a live action series.
Yeah. And, you know, she's up there in fucking shirts all tight. Fucking headlights are on and shit. And just like, yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lot of firsts in Star Wars
Yes.
in this series.
Yes. Again, there's a level of grit to this fucking series. And we're not even out of the first fucking episode yet.
No, this is the second episode.
We're not even out of the second episode yet. I don't know. Where am I?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. The little blind is getting bigger.
Yeah, this is the point in my notes where I wrote about Linus Mosk. He's the more portly security officer, the one that's, you know,
The first sergeant that keeps fucking
Yeah.
shining the knob of the fucking lieutenant.
yeah. And I just wrote these two are insufferable. It's like, oh my god, it's painful with these two. But again, that was the point that they
Yeah,
were going
right.
for. You know, when
Everyone else is like, yeah.
yeah, when they're giving the speech in front of the fucking guys, and the main dude starts talking, and one of the guys is just like, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god.
They are not visibly motivated whatsoever.
Right. Can somebody just tell Lieutenant to shut up?
Yeah.
Like, wrap it up, B. You need the fucking wrap it up box in the side. Like, don't you wrap it up?
Yep. Then we get the bell ringer is back again, or I'm sorry, Bong Percusso.
Yeah.
Bong
Bong
Percusso
Percusso
is back.
Is playing
Fucking-
his AM music.
right. Because the first time we saw him was the PM.
Right.
When it basically says, all right, work day is done.
Right. Now it's the wake up call.
Yeah. So yeah, Bong Percusso's out there again, fucking doo doo. And I love too when he finishes, he's like both arms out to the side and then down, like very yoga like.
Yes. I'm gonna bang the shit out of this piece of metal. Yeah.
Then we flash again to the kids on Canary, and they find the crash site. And yeah, I wrote these motherfuckers are fucked up because there's just corpses everywhere, yellow skin.
Yeah, it's
something
very weird.
clearly went wrong here.
Yes. Something went horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah.
I want to know how the one dude fucking lived long enough to be able to fucking get up and
Well, yeah, and then start
kill a
shooting.
bitch.
Yeah, and like for what reason?
Why
She
is-
wasn't being aggressive.
why is that the first fucking reaction? Like,
It's like, I shoot that kid right in the back too.
yeah, like, oh shit, monkeys, like, you racist motherfucker, kill it, kill that bitch. All the blow darts.
Oh yeah, they got him with like fucking 20 darts before that motherfucker went down
there's
too.
Some Ace Ventura shit happening right there.
3 darts is too much.
I like you, but you're crazy.
Dude, you got a fucking dart in your neck.
What?
We just combined like two different movies.
But they involve the dart.
Yes,
And that's
yes.
what's important.
Yeah.
We're consistent in our inconsistency.
Uh,
Oh my god, it's fucking like the little look. Look how big it's getting.
oh shit.
Yeah.
And that's a live view, or is that a CG
That's live.
recreate? Oh,
Yeah, that's live. That's the dart cam.
okay.
The camera that's going to be fucking blitzing into that fucking. So it's not the big object, it's the little object.
Oh, well, what's the big object?
That's a fucking. It's it's not diagnosis.
Not gonna work here anymore.
Not diagnosis. But Dimorphos is basically the little moon, for lack of a better term, that orbits that particular asteroid.
Yeah, for those of you showing up late, Dave has a live feed of the
Yeah, because we're getting ready to
asteroid.
fucking fly a spacecraft into a fucking another body in space.
Yeah.
Like this,
And we're going to get live video of it too.
Right.
So,
like fucking helmet cam footage of it.
yeah. And the funny thing is the last image we're going to see right before it impacts is some dude on the surface going, "Ah!"
You hear the fucking what's the name of the scream that you hear? In
Oh, the Wilhelm scream.
Wilhelm scream.
Oh, it's good shit. All right. So we get I can't remember who was saying this. I think it's when they were talking about we're back in present day and Cassian's talking to that dude he's trying to get a ride with out of the planet as soon as he makes this drop with the buyer. And they're talking about Canary. He's like, oh yeah, Mid-Rim, abandoned after Imperial mining disaster. Which, again, like it has me all fucked up with the timeline here, because if what we're being told is right, this is during the time of the Republic. So when did the fucking Empire go there and also try to do some shit?
Well, but we also know that the Empire didn't just didn't appear, right? There was all this development that was happening, and
Yeah.
there's shit happening in the background.
Yeah. But they also mentioned that it was abandoned and considered toxic Imperial prohibition. So it was basically a planet that's off limits now. So again, we know something happened. Like they either dug too deep and they hit some fucking radioactive material.
Somebody done did fucked up. That's what happened.
And they're also like, well, fuck these kids. We'll just leave them on the planet. They're probably dead anyway.
Well, they were probably hiding. Maybe they were out on a 3-hour tour and it's just fucking shit. That's just how shit went.
Yep. So this episode kind of ends with a bunch of shit happening. You get like this montage of like the buyers landing on the planet. You've got Cassian walking through, very determined. You've got fucking Hottie McHotterson doing her thing. And it's all to like a fucking rock soundtrack. It's with the rock drums beating real fast in the background, along with some orchestration. It was fucking, again, unique music, and it was a really, really cool way to end this episode.
No, I agree.
Yeah. So that was that. Then we move right into episode 3, Reckoning. Oh yeah. The title, That Would Be Me, for episode 2. That was a line that Cassian had when he was talking to his mom. She's like, who else knew that you were from fucking Canary? And, or how did they know that you're from Canary? He's like, yeah, that would be me. I was the one who mentioned it when I was on the other planet when he was in the whorehouse. Mentioned that he was from Canary. So, it was his own fault.
You done fucked up, Ron.
Yep. Are you pulling up the live feed?
I was trying. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move into the final episode 3, titled Reckoning. And we once again start on Canary. And Cassian, he did not leave with the rest of the Lord of the Flies kids when they took fucking dead girl's body after she had been shot in the back by this fucking dude who had just gotten radiation poisoning or something. Anyway, they all carried her away. Cassian wanted to explore the fucking ship more, so he walks in and he's in the ship now.
Right.
And he's looking around at the fucking panels and sees his reflection, which apparently is the first time he's ever seen a reflection before. And he goes fucking apeshit all of a sudden. He's like, ah! He starts fucking smashing the consoles.
Which it seems reasonable, right? You're
Sure.
this is such a foreign thing. People came out of this foreign thing and it just killed your he had a fucking thing for the main broad, right?
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, that's why he went on this little fucking expedition, because he wanted to be like, I can be cool. I'm gonna put a stripe on my face just like you, because I want to be with you, right?
Well, he lost his chance unless he's also into necrophilia, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a tribal thing.
To each their own. Anyway, we move back to present day. The fucking the buyer is making his way. He's on a tour bus, I guess. I don't know how the hell this whole planet works, but for some reason, the town part is a big tourist area. The salvage area is hot for tourists? I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe I missed something here. But he fucking lands. Did you notice the droid air stairs that pulled up?
Dude, I thought that was fucking great.
Yes.
They're unreasonably good.
Look.
I was like,
Look, I'm like, droid air stairs, Dave.
yes, dude. I completely unreasonable how much I enjoyed that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, look at that shit. And it was like perfect. And right there, so it's like, look at that fucking detail. It's a little detail like that just is just amazing.
Yeah.
Just fucking amazing.
And while a lot of people out there, is this it?
Yeah, this is happening.
All right,
folks.
we're gonna put a pause on the air stairs talk, but yeah, we're about to see live the fucking the impact of this asteroid, so we might as well just finish watching this. This shit's getting bigger.
Wow,
quite fast.
Holy shit!
Oh, you see all the NASA people gathered around,
and oh my god.
That's a pretty beat up fucking surface. That is not nearly as smooth as I was expecting to see. Wow. Enhance. Oh, is that it? Oh, no. And, still getting closer.
And we're out.
And loss of signal. Wow. Holy shit. All right, they're very excited in the NASA headquarters.
That was pretty fucking cool.
Pretty cool that we got to do it live on the show, too.
Yeah, dude, that was fucking awesome. So just to recap for people that are like, what the fuck is happening right now? The NASA had I don't even know where to start. Basically NASA launched a science probe that was going directly into an asteroid, and it was not actually the primary asteroid. It's like the satellite of one of the larger asteroids, and they targeted it so that it would impact, basically fly directly into it.
Yeah.
And with the idea that the velocity of this thing, if they could actually change
the trajectory
of it.
Yeah.
So they're going to be able to look at this and see, okay, they've obviously been measuring the orbital mechanics and everything else of this. So now they'll have to see, after this impact, could it have changed something? It's not, there was no explosives or anything else. This was just straight fucking Newtonian physics. I'm going to throw this mass into this thing, and it just so happens it had a fucking camera on the fucking nose of it.
Yeah, well, and of course this, is the potential precursor to, oh shit, the fucking Armageddon asteroid is coming towards Earth.
Yeah.
Can we build some sort of craft large enough with enough mass to impact this thing at a high enough velocity to fucking change its trajectory?
Yeah, because in reality, the whole fucking nuclear explosion, blah blah blah. I mean, I don't even want to begin to get into the physics of why that isn't going to work. But
yeah.
Anyway, very fucking cool. Being unreasonably excited about fucking air stairs going up to the fucking thing. I'm also probably unreasonably excited about seeing basically a helmet cam go flying into a fucking asteroid.
Yeah.
Live, but holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, and we just got to watch it.
Yeah.
It just happened live. Now, hopefully they got some more video, and hopefully they took a lot of
I'm sure
a lot of fast frame fucking still shots, and
yeah, I'm sure that what you're getting from that live camera is there's probably other science cameras that are on board
so hopefully we get some good pictures of the almost right before impact shots.
Or we'll see. But either way, that video exists, and now we know that we can fucking basically we can throw a ball. What a human thing to do. All right, I want to throw something. I want to this I'm going to take a shot, and I'm going to go off the bleachers, into the rafters, then off the backboard, nothing but net. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to throw this fucking thing into space till it gets all the way out to this asteroid, and then bang.
Well, and we've got some smart motherfuckers on this planet who can make that happen, and who did make it happen. Yep. So
it's fantastic.
Science.
I love it. So let's get back to some
Andor.
some
yes.
Hot fucking air stairs.
Yeah.
Pulling out. I was so excited.
Yeah, me too. And I knew you would see that.
Oh
and
my
I'm
God.
sure there's a lot of people that are like, what's the big fucking deal? When you flew for a majority of your career
Yeah.
or around airplanes for 20 plus years, and you're either the one pushing and pulling air stairs up to a fucking aircraft so people can get on and off,
Mm-hmm.
or you're at a fucking aircraft waiting for somebody to pull fucking air stairs up, whatever. Just seeing that little detail was just so cool. So cool that
Yeah.
they have a droid for that. I'm like, oh, that's the world I want to live in.
Yeah, yeah. And what a simple thing too to fucking like. This is your purpose, right? This is your purpose. You're going to like, oh, it's landed. Beep boop beep. Zzz.
Yep. And then perfect.
Yep. Right there.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
This is the part in my notes where I wrote, did I mention Bix is sexy as fuck? So yes, apparently we got another scene with her.
Yes.
When the buyer arrived. That's right. The buyer arrived. Right. He's walking down the street. She's throwing some more back at the outdoor bar. She sees him walking, pays her tab, and they
throw some credits at the fucking table.
Yeah. And then
rewind real quick.
Sure.
So the whole one thing I wanted to kind of adding to this realism effect, right? Realism effect. That's kind of the same thing.
That's kind of an oxymoron, really.
Yeah. When actually making the connection to the guy, right? So making this ultra secure connection.
Oh yeah,
to
when
the
she
guy.
goes into that scrapyard and up that fucking communications pipe.
She talks to the guy. The guy says, "Yeah, it's in the back." And then she goes into the back and fucking goes up into the fucking smokestack.
Mm-hmm.
And in the smokestack is this fucking comm port.
Yeah.
Where I'm thinking, because this is how my brain works. I'm like, that's actually a brilliant way to hide things like aerials, like antennas.
Yeah.
Who's going to think to look in a fucking smokestack,
right,
for some shit like that? If it's narrow enough, right? I mean, it's not a normal spot to look. It has some fucking RF protection.
Yeah.
Right. If you can, get your signal out in the right way. There's like all these benefits to something like that. And again, this is where my fucking brain goes. And I'm like, damn, that's really fucking clever, because she's not like going out of the fucking thing. She's just in there with her making the transmission from there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is just a clever way to show how at the root of all this, how you can get somebody like, I think what we're going to see with Mon Mothma and this guy who's apparently connected and is working with the Senate and, works next to the Empire and all this other stuff. And obviously he's kind of working from the inside.
Yeah.
You can maintain these connections because they're doing such have this secure comms and doing shit like that. And I just, there's a level of realism that I really appreciate with that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I love, I'm glad you brought up Mon Mothma. I was fully expecting half of this series to be about her, because that's the way they kind of were portraying it in the trailers. Like she was going to be a very prominent figure in the series, and she probably will be for the future, but no appearance.
Will be.
Yeah, no appearance by her at all in these first 3 episodes, which I thought was interesting.
And it's probably appropriate.
Yeah,
Like,
based on the story in these first 3.
For what we're doing right now, it seems appropriate.
Yep. So the buyer arrives. Then we see B2, like Cassian's having another exchange with B2, giving him some instructions, walkie-talkie, blah blah blah. And then we flash back. But like, I don't know if you felt the same way, but I didn't realize this was a flashback at first. But we see fucking B2 come through a doorway, and he's like bright red painted, like freshly painted.
You can tell he's fresh painted.
Yeah, and then it's fucking Cassian's mom, and I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't she just in the fucking house?
Right.
What's going on? Oh, this is a flashback, because
Right.
you see fucking Cassian in there still like hammering at the fucking the reflection.
Right.
So so apparently his mother was some kind of scavenger.
Well, or not necessarily a scavenger, but I think more of some sort of rebel rouser. Like I think that's really, she was already working from the inside on whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess that's going to come out later, but you get the impression that she was already well connected within whatever disruption of the system
Right.
was going to be happening,
And
like,
it's-
between the two of them.
And it's hinted too, like I'm assuming this guy that she was with is Cassian's quote unquote father.
Right.
That we find out in a couple of minutes was like fucking
Was hung.
Yeah, was hung in the streets.
Right.
Because he was like a dissenter.
Right.
So I'm assuming that's this same guy that she's with, that she's traveling with. So yeah, they come upon him, and that's when it all clicked for me though, when they came into the room where he was. I'm like, oh, that's why fucking B2 looks brand new,
Right.
And why the mom isn't as gray. It's like, okay, got it. So this is a flashback.
And you know what? The as gray bit, to me, like, just looking at her, she has an old face.
Yeah.
So it didn't really make much of a difference. But,
No, not really.
But you know, they aged the droid appropriately, and you know, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. And this is where we come to the warehouse scene. This scene where Cassian meets the buyer in the warehouse is what we saw in front of Rogue One. That Andor preview that we saw was basically this shootout inside this warehouse when Cassian met the buyer, and you know, the buyer's talking to him. He's like, you know, I came for the thing, but I was kind of
the
hoping.
Bell warehouse. That's basically.
Oh,
like,
yeah. And you know, this is when he drops the information that he knows about Cassian's dad and all
Right.
this. And he's like, how the fuck do you know about me? And then the security guards show up and they're surrounding them and all that. And we get the big shootout and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then
And he puts the fucking, you know, he has an exit strategy, right? He puts the plastic explosives around the fucking doors that he came in.
yep,
So
he blows those, kills some of those dudes.
right.
You know, they escape one way, and this is where we get that scene where the set up a flank, and they're gonna try to catch them as they're coming down what they think is gonna be a specific, you know, roadway,
Right.
And they're gonna hit them, and oh yeah, this is also the part where the fucking the ship took off. You know, after he admonished the one guy for killing Tim, the fucking Judas.
Right.
You know, sends him to the ship. He gets in the ship. The locals fucking tied it to one of these towers and
Oh yeah, it was fucking the big guy.
Right.
Whose name we said earlier that I don't remember already.
Bong Percusso?
No, the fucking the guy who was covering for Cassian. It's not important.
Oh, his friend Brasso.
Brasso.
Yes.
Yes, Brasso. How could I forget Brasso? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, the same shit you use in fucking anyway. Yeah, Brasso did it.
Yeah.
He fucking kind of went over there and then, you know, strapped up the fucking ship, which I didn't. When I saw him walking over to a ship, I didn't put the two things together until we watched the guy take off.
Yeah.
Like, cool.
Yeah.
I like it. These sequences, let's rewind here real quick. The sequences where you're getting people shot in the face, bleeding out, like all of these things. Like we've gotten glimpses of some air quote gore. I'm
Right.
not saying like, you know, scary movie gore. Or horror movie gore. Scary movie gore. Like, what am I, fucking 5? It's not. It's more to add to the realism of the scene.
Yeah.
And but we haven't had this level of realism.
No.
Before.
Like a lot of the gore and the violence is kind of off camera in most of the main Star Wars
Right.
stuff. Like you don't see the open wounds or
Right.
the
When
bleeding out or any of that shit.
Yeah, when she's got these fucking, you know, she's got these wounds to her face and neck, and you know, blood coming down her face. Like she has obvious head trauma.
She being Bix, the hottest
Bix.
female ever in Star,
Star
Wars.
Wars, yes, number one. Let's just call her number one.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got number one, and also is one of the best acting scenes in there, like, because this is obviously how you would fucking act if somebody that you cared for got shot right in front of you.
Yeah,
right?
and you were fucking handcuffed to the wall,
Right.
basically.
This is the level of distress you would have. And when he got shot, it was like being like a gunshot, not a scorched wound from a laser. It was like a fucking a bloody wound. So it's like this level of realism is that, hey, in Rogue One, remember how you like that fucking war element, kids? Well, hey, you're getting it here. And I think this is why, if you guys still have the fucking, the dart stuff, they're showing like screenshots of the last moments going into it. So it's kind of cool. Sorry, there's a squirrel. But yeah, the shooting and the explosions, bodies, like this, we're seeing it in Star Wars now because it's for us.
Yeah.
This is for us. Andor is for us. It's not for kids. It's not for like, hey, this is on a fucking, let's put this on at 9 o'clock, guys. Cause we don't necessarily, the storyline is not for kids.
No, not at all.
And it doesn't have any pretense of that. And I think it's kind of what we want. This is what we want. We want something with some grit to it.
Yep, and that's what we got. Yeah. And it was great. And just kind of getting back to the episode real quick, we completely failed to mention the whole rest of the town kind of rallying around Cassian and like hitting the chimes, where they had those weird fucking chimes that they would da 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 da. And they were doing it in like
they're playing Metallica, they're playing one on Metallica,
right? And it's going for the longest time throughout all this action sequences when they corner Bix and they handcuff her and they kill the dude, and they're chasing Cassian and the buyer through the fucking warehouse and all that. It's all going, and then as they're trying to set up that flank and trying to set up that trap for them, like everything stops. And it's like an eerie silence after you've been listening to that for like a good 5 minutes or longer. That constant tapping throughout the town, all of a sudden stops.
And that's what even old girl said. She's like, everything's fine up until it stops.
Yeah.
And then the guys were like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And then they fucking rolled out. And honestly, as dark as this has been, when they rolled out of her fucking house, I expected her to be dead. I expected her to have fucking a smoking hole in her forehead before they rolled out. Honestly, it's like the fact that she's actually alive was surprising, and I like that. I like fuck. Okay, they left her alive. Okay,
yeah. So and then getting back to where they tied the ship to the fucking tower and it exploded. We get another first in Star Wars at this point when the fucking when the fat officer says, shit, we're under siege.
Yep.
And it's like, did he just say shit?
Yep, this is
in Star Wars?
This is our first shit in Star Wars.
Yeah, because they've had their own like local cursing,
right.
like their own words for curses and stuff that they've used. Right. Pretty heavy in The Mandalorian.
Like
but
voodoo.
Yeah, but no, man. Like, and I think the worst that we've ever gotten up to this point was like hell.
Right.
There might be a dam somewhere in there. But yeah, no, just straight up shit. Shit, we're surrounded. It's like, whoa, okay, yes. This is serious. I mean, again, I know this is pretty tame by most standards, but for Star Wars, this is huge. We're probably still like 50 years away from like full frontal nudity, unfortunately, in Star Wars.
But what's really funny is like this is the same organization, right? That if you have a league, an ESPN fucking fantasy football league, that you can't have Nick Chubb in your fucking team name because Chubb is deemed as not being socially appropriate. It's his motherfucking name. Chubb is his fucking name, and it's spelled with 2 B's.
Yeah.
Right? And if you put that in your fucking team name, no, that's inappropriate. Like, fuck you, dude. That's ESPN. Right?
Owned by Disney.
Owned by Disney. And this is the same organization that we just got a fucking shit out of. So, you know what? I'll take it. If ESPN wants to fucking go that far to the other side of the spectrum, and we can get more shit literally out of fucking Star Wars, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Let's have it.
It was a little jarring to hear at first.
Fuck, even in the future nothing works.
Yeah. It was different hearing that, but I'm like, okay, they're committing to this adult-oriented programming, so fuck it, I'm in. Let's do it.
I want piles of stormtroopers screaming like, ah!
Yeah.
Fuck! Just screaming and just like burning flesh and just.
This is the part in my notes too, where I have in my notes, are the guards gonna rape Bix? Question mark, exclamation point.
I had that thought.
Yeah.
I had the same thought.
Because they like throw up against the wall, cuff her, like before Homeboy shows up, and you're like, are they about to like fucking just like
But
do this
again, and I mentioned it earlier. Like it was the, God, just fucking get her contained. We have to go fucking into the fight.
Yeah.
It's Streets of fucking Fallujah type environment. It's like, okay, this person's obviously involved in this. They need to be fucking detained. I'm gonna handcuff you to this so they don't move, and we'll fucking go take care of this.
Yeah.
And then come back for
Then, of course, Screaming Tim shows up and gets his ass shot. But again, yeah, kind of deserving.
that
And really, he brought it on himself. He's the reason those fuckers are here.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you reap what you sow, asshole.
yeah, in the end, yep, you deserved it.
Yep. So yeah, they say shit. You get the scene where they drive the fucking the unmanned speeder
Right.
into the crowd, fucking explodes.
Which they kind of like, when he said, "Do you have any explosives left?" I kind of knew it was like, oh, they're gonna fucking take a speeder.
Yeah.
And they're gonna do like the empty car thing.
Yeah, and then they got on like a fucking like an actual like speeder bike and making the same fucking noises
Yeah.
as Return of the Jedi.
Hey, it's Star Wars, people, and here's your Star Wars shit.
Then we get to close out this episode. We get a great fucking montage that's showing Cassian and the buyer heading to his ship. You see fucking this is like Bix is still handcuffed. Like a couple of the townsfolk come and like release her, and she wants to like go to Tim.
Right.
But they're like dragging her like, no, we gotta fucking go. You see the fucking mom and B2 sitting in her house, intermixed with flashes of young Cassian being taken off with the mom, and then Cassian getting to the fucking ship with the buyer. And
Yeah, and I know
taken off.
for me I put together the fact that the ship that Cassian was hiding the stuff in
was the mom's
ship.
Yeah.
That's when I put it together. Like I didn't put the two things together until it was that moment. Like, you look through the windscreen
And it's like, oh yeah, that's the same
That's
ship.
the same ship.
Yep.
So,
And really, like, these first 3 episodes were really a nicely contained story that like had a kind of a beginning and an end, and the end of the story is now moving us to the next segment of the show. But it was brilliant the way they released it, and I almost kind of wonder if they're looking at these final cuts and they're like, we should really just release these 3 episodes together because they just flow so fucking well.
yeah.
And maybe that was part of the reason for the delay, and then releasing the 3 at once. Who knows? And they'll probably never admit it. But
And you know what? They don't need to, I guess. But for the record, it was way better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, my expectations were so low of this, and some of that was deliberate. Like, I don't want to get burned. I don't want to get burned by a Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Star Wars is, content-wise, we're getting so much of it, and I want it all to be good.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy all of Star Wars, and I'm super happy with how these first 3 episodes went. I enjoy the fucking grit. I enjoy how the story's being told. I think it's going to make me appreciate Rogue One even more.
yeah, hopefully.
When we get to it. I'm not saying that I guarantee that the fucking next, how many, there's 12 episodes, right? So we got 9 more episodes. I mean,
In this first season, allegedly it's going to be 2 seasons, 12 episodes a season.
I think they got a lot of story they can tell.
Yeah.
And they started off great. And
As long as it's more Bix. Keep Bix in the whole series. And
now there is some consternation in the chat that, people are upset that we would knock Cara Dune off of out of the number 1
hey,
spot.
don't get me wrong. I love me some Gina Carano, but she ain't nothing compared to
There's
this young lady.
Yeah.
So
number 1.
yeah, Bix is definitely number 1 with a bullet.
Number 1.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you though. Thoroughly enjoyed these first 3 episodes. Can't wait to see where the series goes from here, and if it can maintain this tone and this level of quality, it's going to be a great season. And there's still so much that they have to reveal. We still haven't seen Mon Mothma. Lots to do. We haven't even seen a fucking stormtrooper yet. Think about that.
Right.
We haven't even seen a single Imperial character. These fucking local security thugs, they're kind of like wannabe Empire. And, they're like, oh, yeah, we're the first line of defense for the Empire.
Right.
Kind of thing. But, yeah, we saw no fucking legit Empire in these first 3 episodes, which, was kind of weird to think about.
And which we know is coming.
Yeah. And it makes sense. Again, we're starting off on this smaller level, and now we're going to start working our way up to the big time.
Yeah. But it really makes me like, I think between now and the next time we talk about Andor, which is in a few weeks, I'm really curious about the insignias on those uniforms.
Yeah. And I'm sure people have already picked that to death.
Oh, I'm sure.
We
They probably were talking about it in the chat.
Yeah.
And we missed it because we were excited about other stuff. But yeah, dude, it's great. It's great to enjoy it and be surprised by, and I guess should we be surprised? I mean, at this point, do we have reason to not trust this system?
Oh, we have reasons to not trust Lucasfilm. Like, those reasons are there. Now, have they learned their lesson? Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean,
it still isn't a movie.
No,
It's not a movie.
Yeah.
So you would think that if they were going to put out a movie with the quality of the shows that they're putting out, that any movie they would put out would be fucking phenomenal. But
Yeah. Well,
one would think.
if rumors are to be believed, now Rogue One is completely off, or not Rogue One, Rogue Squadron is completely off. So,
You know what?
who the fuck knows?
If it's not good, don't make it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it's at that point, if you got a guy like a Filoni or somebody in the story group is like, you know what, this doesn't cut it. This doesn't, this
pull a
isn't-
Warner Brothers. Yeah, we're just not going to release this movie after all. It's done. It's filmed. We're just not going to release it.
Which is ironic because I don't know that Warner Brothers could afford to do shit like that. But
Yeah. I mean, if anybody could afford it, Lucasfilm can.
yeah.
They've got all the money.
But that would also be admitting that they were wrong,
Right, which they
won't
really
do
don't want to do that.
that.
Yeah.
They will not do that.
Yeah. See Kathleen Kennedy and the firing of many directors and whatnot in the past. But yeah, so that's it. And I think it's pretty clear that we thoroughly enjoyed it. If you're a Star Wars fan, you need to be watching Andor. It's good shit.
Yep.
Can't say enough about it. And next week, we are continuing with Star Wars. We're taking a look at some comics that have been out for a couple years now, but
Right.
I still have not read them to date. I know they have some pretty important canon in them, and that is the Rise of Kylo Ren
Yeah.
comic series. So we're going to be covering that next week, getting back to the comics a little bit. So I'm looking forward to getting through those. And then just looking ahead a little bit, October 10th, which is 2 weeks from now, there will not be an episode.
Right.
This was already pre-planned. People are going out of town, and just it was always in the schedule that this was going to be an open date. So
Yep.
sorry. And then the following week, we're going to be doing more Andor, I believe. So the next time we talk Andor, it's going to be to cover episodes 4 through 6.
Yeah.
So we're going to do these in threes.
Yeah,
when
and
it comes
hopefully, and nice.
to- Fuck.
Just I'm going to do like the Bills offensive coordinator and just fucking start throwing that shit around.
That would be hilarious. I saw the gif of that too.
Oh yeah,
it's fucking funny.
I would be doing the same thing if I were him. That fucking Surface Pro would have been flung like a goddamn frisbee out of the window
Yeah.
to some lucky fan. Yeah, no, I hope the 3-episode grouping is prophetic and it works for each one of these things, because it'd be nice if it was a nice tight grouping
Yeah.
like that. But if it isn't, then so what?
We'll adjust.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. But as of our schedule right now goes, the next time we talk Andor, it'll be episodes 4 through 6. It'll be right after 6 comes out. So that's that.
Yes.
Good times. Glad to be back here in the studio.
Yes.
After
It feels like a real show.
Yeah, because again, we were remote for weeks.
Yeah.
Didn't have a show last week, and now we're back, and everything seems a little bit more normal.
Yes.
So.
I really feel like, I don't know about the listener. I know for me, like my energy level just isn't the same when we're doing remote.
Oh, I agree.
Like it's just, it just isn't.
It's not the same.
Yeah. It's
really
almost
not.
it's almost like if we some reason we have to do remote, we should just like, all right, let's just figure out how to do the show in person or just pattern delay until we can fucking be there in person.
Yeah.
Like I know it sucks for those of you who wait for the show, but we want you to get the same energy level that you expect, not
Right. You don't want us just phoning it in.
right. You don't need, hey, it's me trying to figure out who's letting out the dog, and my father-in-law with the TV too loud in the background or something. You know, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Agreed.
That's why we need to be surrounded by our altar.
Like the
sacred Jedi
pops and
the sacred Jedi
Every time.
yeah,
Every time.
gets them every time. All right. Do you got any red fives?
I got all kinds of red 5 stuff.
Well,
And
why don't we get to that?
we're not J-Lo's on vacation.
Okay. Yep. She won't be joining us this week.
Not this week.
Yep.
So what I am going to do is the 2022 Parsec Fan Awards. See, we don't have like background music. We can do like the Price is Right music.
I'll take a look at that.
The 2022 Parsec Fan Awards are still accepting nominations. They're looking for your favorites in science fiction, fantasy, and adventure that have been released from August 1st, 2021 through July 1st, 2022, because we need to be that specific with the dates. Shoot Luna Girl a DM on any of our socials for the hookup if you haven't submitted your picks yet. Categories include Best Movie, Best New Video Game, Best Toy Collectible, which is either a pop or a black series, Best Animated or Lego, Best Animated Series or Short, and more. The Parsec Fan Awards will be creating voting ballots based on your nominations in the coming weeks. After our show at 2200, 10 p.m. Eastern, WSTR Media will be conducting an interview with Imperial HR Officer. Go support our Red 5 family. Have you seen her? Imperial HR Officer? It's on Instagram.
No.
Like you should follow her. It's funny. She does these funny little bits.
Imperial HR Officer, all one
Yeah.
word.
I think so. Luna Girl, can you post a link to her in the chat? But yeah, she's actually pretty funny. Like she there's like video footage of her like walking around cons, and she's dressed as an Imperial officer, like gum chewing, just obnoxious HR officer, and she's like handing out fines for fucking people being at like their uniforms not being right, and there's like little skits of her somebody coming to her with a fucking complaint, right? And then shit like that. It's actually really, she's actually really funny. So
Yeah, I'll have to find it
tune in
later.
tonight at 10 o'clock 2200 for to WSTR Media, because I'm sure that'll be actually pretty funny. The Red 5 Network now has 40
I'm 37?
plus 3 podcasts. A big welcome to the new pod, Make It So. A Star Trek pod. Star Trek pod? I'm going to put a question mark after that every time I read it. A Star Trek pod will be dropping their premiere episode on audio in the coming weeks. Browse through bio.link/red5. That's bio.link/red5 and bio.link/red5gaming. Check out the daily promos or shoot Luna Girl a DM on any of our socials, and she can suggest something you'll absolutely love that is perfect for you. In the Cantina Family Happenings, the Use and Abuse pod will review. I was about to say never review. I don't know why. The Use and Abuse pod will review the movie Animal House. I said review, Jason.
Yes, I picked up on that too.
The movie Animal House tomorrow at 1700, 5
I love
p.m.
Animal House.
Eastern Daylight Time.
They took the bar, the whole fucking bar.
Join Scott and Kim in their live chat on YouTube and enjoy. And yes, it is a great fucking, it is a classic.
Yeah.
A booth in the back, we'll be reviewing our Week 3 fantasy football matchups from this past weekend. Join Don Della Snooch, Brady Big Lovin', and Luna Girl Wednesday at 1800
know,
6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Speaking of which, we failed to mention that you won the battle of the hosts this weekend.
I was saving that for the end, but
Okay,
yes,
sorry.
yes, I did. I beat you soundly. No, it wasn't soundly. I forgot.
You might want to go back and look at that score
No,
again.
but I did beat you,
Yes.
and I didn't without any players tonight too, which is
yeah,
also
neither of us do.
our benches were spectacular. Our benches had fucking tremendous weeks.
Yeah,
The players we started, not so much.
that's the roll of the dice. You know, you never know. It's any given Sunday, as they say.
These motherfuckers. So yes, and for the series or fuck what? The series. Why can't I think through that?
I have no idea.
Why can't I think through that?
The matchup series between the two of us.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, I guess. Why is that? Oh my god, my brain.
What is wrong with you? What are you trying to say, Dave?
I'm having a stroke.
What is the point of this whole?
Oh, I'm saying that I am 1-0, and then we'll at least play one more time against each other.
Yeah.
The season series is what I was trying to say.
Oh,
Series.
gotcha.
Season series. Holy fuck, dude. Booth in the back. We'll be reviewing our week 3 fantasy football matchups from this past weekend. Join Don Snooch, Barry Big Love, and Luna Girl Wednesday at 1800 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Live exclusively in the Sidebar Cantina group on Facebook. Grab a beer, take off your pants, and don't miss the show. If you are not a member of the Sidebar Cantina Facebook group, you should search it out on Facebook. The Sidebar Cantina. Answer the questions, and we will let you in. And then you could be part of the chat on Facebook. That's not in the read. I made that up just on my own. Look at me go.
What's wrong with you?
Also on Wednesday, ATSW The Escape Pod will be reviewing Andor episodes 1 through 3.
Hey, sounds familiar.
Hey, with special guest Alan from Press Play. Fuck, dude. From Alan.
This is the moment on the show where Dave has a stroke live on the air.
Alan from Press Play Studios. Alan from Press Play Streaming Studios. It's been a minute. I guess my mouth is. I didn't do my warm up exercises. That's what it is.
Sucking a bunch of dick or what?
Apparently not. Blah, 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 blah. Alan from Press Play Streaming Studios. The Alan from Press Play.
Oh my God! Would you please just move on already?
Studios.
Jesus
Who
Christ.
fucking did our intro? Right?
Yes.
Did you do our intro video? Tune in at 1905 Eastern Daylight Time for all the shenanigans of Don Della Snooch, Brady Big Lovin', and Dragon Buddy. Thursday night, Don Della Snooch and Luna Girl are back. They will be reviewing the finale of Season 1 for Stranger Things. Join them live at 2000. 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at Stranger Things Has Happened on YouTube. Layman Terms has released a new episode of Horror Month starts here. How I got into horror and my movies! Exclamation point. And a new Laying Down the Packs. Very specific titles to the layman's.
Yes.
Fuck summer! Fall is here. Join Keith Van Layman as he dives into horror movies for the rest of the September and October. Buckle up, shit puppies. Oh, I'm sorry. Buckle up, slut puppies. Be sure to subscribe, ding that bell, and select all to receive notification for your source of ignorance and drunken banter. It's like right in between my fucking bifocal. The Orange Infesto dropped episode 50, Jag season 3 last week. Speaking of hotties, subscribe to them on Spotify and be noted of upcoming releases. Not Orange and Fet. I'm talking about on Jag.
Right.
That broad.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying. You can find us at bio.links/the Sidebar Cantina, where you can find our links to YouTube, audio, Patreon, our latest Spotify music mixtape, and all social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Discord, and TikTok. Also in our bio link is our TeePublic merch shop, allegedly. We have t-shirts and hoodies in a wide variety of designs, sizes, and colors. There are Sidebar Cantina face masks, tote bags, phone cases, exclusive stickers and pins, just about everything you can imagine. Please tag us with your merch so Luna Girl can share it on the socials. Reviews!
No new reviews.
There are no new reviews. Sad face. Please write us a review. Yeah. It's so sad. I'm so sad there's no 5-star reviews. I'm not even gonna do it. You know what should happen? No J-Lo until we get a 5-star review.
Ooh, I like that.
No J-Lo until there's a 5-star review.
All right.
Sorry.
Gauntlet has been laid down. And you have to actually write some verbiage. So here's the problem. What I think a lot of people have done is they've gone in there and they've clicked the 5th star, but they haven't actually written any verbiage.
Yeah.
So we have like a shitload of reviews, but not a lot of ones that actually have any text in them. So you have to put text in the review. You can't just go into fucking iTunes and click 5 stars and be done with it. You have to write something.
Yep.
That's part of the thing. But yeah, no J-Lo until.
And if you listen to us on Spotify, DM Lunar Girl somehow with a review, and we'll figure it out. DM her via Instagram or something.
Yeah.
Some kind of way. But we need the likes. We need you to like this YouTube video. We need you to give us 5 stars on Apple podcasts.
Yep.
Podcasts aren't going away. Honestly, like it was really interesting. The industry itself. I went through this phase a couple months ago where I was like, man, I bet you podcasts are just like, it's been so like it must have expanded to the point where now we're in this fucking contraction period where now it's just going to start like only the strong will survive.
Right. Because every idiot in the world that has a microphone can, case in point, can just start a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And that's not the case. In fact, I have found that there are more podcasts now than that are getting created. So like Stephen A. Smith, for example, now has a podcast.
Oh, nice.
Like you have these people that are like television. They're on television. They're doing other stuff. And now they're having podcasts on the side. And it's not necessarily promoting them because they're already on a network or something else, but they're doing it because they want to have that voice that they don't have while they're on television.
Right. Bill Maher's a big example of that because, he's got his show on HBO.
Right.
He wanted to do a podcast where he didn't have to talk about politics and he could just go on there and just bullshit with his friends about just anything that's not like fucking politically motivated.
Exactly. And sit down and listen to fucking Bill Burr on the Monday morning podcast. And he talks to himself for fucking 90 minutes.
Yeah.
For the most part. And yeah, I was fascinated to know that that it is expanding, and those 5-star reviews actually are what's going to get our podcast more visibility within that expanding bandwidth. So pretty pleased with Sugar on it. Write us a fucking review. Don't have an Apple account. Facebook has a review feature too. Just screenshot your review before you hit done and DM us the pic on Instagram or Twitter. Tell us what you love or even hate about the show. Jennifer Lopez or Hank or Edith, Mama. Oh, do it for Mama. Or somebody fun. We'll read your review word for word on our next episode. But no Jennifer Lopez until there's a 5-star review that we can read.
That she can read.
Yes. Plus, Lunar Girl will send you swag. I hate to threaten people, but that's what's going to happen.
Wow. Oh, man. Speaking of threats, Scarif After Dark is threatening 1-star reviews. Wow.
I mean, you can do that. I mean, it's a review. We'll read it. Even if it's 1 star, we will read it.
But I think for Miss Lopez, it's got to be 5 stars.
Miss Lopez deserves 5 stars.
Yes.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah, she's the true star of the show.
Yeah, she works hard for her money.
So hard for it, honey.
Yeah, I'm not going to sing.
Are we done here?
I think we're done here.
Yeah, it's getting pretty late, but thank you, everybody. Again, it's good to be back. And aside from October 10th, we should be back to our normal cadence. A lot more focus on Star Wars, a lot less focus on the extraneous stuff. And I'm just going to say it now. The Bond movie that we were going to talk about, I don't know if we're ever going to do that, quite frankly. I'm not sure. I know it was a Patreon voted thing, but at this point...
it is on the back burner.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars.
Yes.
Honestly, we're a Star Wars podcast. That's how we started. It's kind of our bloodline. we want to get back to that. And quite frankly, Disney and Lucasfilm is enabling us to be able to do that without having to do things like, fucking Summer of Legends or anything like that. So, yeah, Star Wars. Yep. We're doing more Star Wars. Sorry.
Now and forever.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching on YouTube. Thank you, everybody who's listening on audio. And until next time, Dave and everybody else, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you. Clunk.
Yeah, not a good sound.
No Hennifer until some 5-star reviews. And then what do I click?
Perfect. All right. Anything for an after show real quick? All right.
Nah.
Close it up and call it good.
Yep. I'm going to, for the benefit of everybody watching, thank you so much for being in the chat. It was a very active chat tonight.
Very.
I appreciate it. Yay, verily.
Yeah, sorry we didn't get to respond to a lot of people. I saw there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to respond to, but we were just kind of like...
It goes through fast.
Yeah, especially when we do these Star Wars topics, man. It's like we just got so much to talk about. It's kind of hard to acknowledge the chat sometimes.
Yep, it's fucking Star Wars.
But we see you and we love you.
Yeah. Hey, and listen, if you're in the way of fucking this Hurricane Ian, batten down the hatches. Make sure if you are in a flood zone and they're telling you to fucking evacuate, do it. Listen to them. Do it.
Do it.
Jason and I both have experience being in a fucking hurricane shelter with people that did not listen, and it was not a good experience. And
You're gonna have a bad day.
You're gonna have a bad day. So please be safe. Yeah, I'm gonna go home. I have a fucking case study that's due this week that I'm going to try and work on.
All right.
So,
well, it was fun. See you guys next week.
bye everyone.